Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I'm sorry I had to postpone yesterday. I was in. I was working on the Japanese region side for the Flash Ops knockouts for Japan. If you haven't been following that region, we already have the top two teams competing that will be in Korea for LAN for the APAC finals. But enough of that. Today we're gonna cover Team 815. We don't have any guests today, but I do have my reliable co-host LaFon. LaFon, how are you doing?
Doing all right. Honestly, I need to start coming with more creative descriptions for these introductions because I don't know. I've been very boring the last two, so
No,
look out
I mean,
for a
like,
very creative one next time.
okay. I'll definitely be looking out for that. And today we'll be covering Team 815. Let's just kind of look at the roster here before we go into the actual matches. We have Decay and Choi Seung-hwan on the DPS role, Kellen on the tank role, Faith MCD Develop on the support, and we have Swingby, who was basically 815, right? Because his name, his Korean name, is reads into independence. It means independence, and 815, August 15th, is the day that Korea got their independence.
Oh, that's a cool little that's a cool tidbit.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I thought it was really well known.
I think it's not very well known in English,
Mhm.
like in the English part of the or English speaking region.
Mhm.
For a multitude of reasons. A, because oftentimes I barely know what my country's date of well, not independence, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So different countries is even tougher. But I think it also it depends on a lot of the people not knowing the coach's name, right?
Mhm.
Having that reading as well. So that I think those two combined makes it a lot less common to know in the English part of the world.
Well, that's still fair. Well, I mean, there's a good trivia for you that we can start with, kind of small trivia, and then look. Let's just kind of look at the roster. This is basically Element Mystic alumni, right? The Element Mystic after Rush's time. So,
Yes.
how would you rate this roster in terms of strength?
I think this roster is really interesting because DPS wise, I think they can go toe to toe with nearly anybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think I think the only DPS core that you can argue is out and out stronger than this one
Mm-hmm.
is Hamsters, right?
Okay.
I think every team in this region, in Korean Flash Ops, has a DPS aside from Hamster, which I think has the ability to just break the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're all elite, right? And I think Decay and Choi Se-won together are two of the best players, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of that DPS role. What's really interesting to me though is the rest of the team, right? Kellen, Faith, MCD, and Develop. They're all very strong players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take Kellen for example. Kellen is a player that has not had a ton of success necessarily in Tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, and I think that has cost his reputation in ways that isn't necessarily fair. Because watching him way back, sort of on his way up, could sometimes just as tank players can just kind of take over the game. I think this team here is, given the right opportunities, scarily good.
Okay. Would there be any? Well, we've covered Runaway yesterday. Well, on the last stream, and we've seen a lot of talent and possibility from Runaway as well. But we've also seen that there are some, I guess, compositional issues. Maybe from, I don't know, maybe some Runaway wasn't kind of comfortable with playing weren't practiced enough in certain compositions, or maybe there were some hero pull issues. Do we expect the same from Teammate 15? Because remember, we've seen Develop be a very elite, let's just say, hit scan player, and yes, Decay can play a lot of good hit scan, but we haven't necessarily think that the Ash, the Sojourn is gonna be Decay's best heroes. We've seen him on Tracer, maybe on the Genji a little bit. Do we think that flexibility can be an issue for this team as well?
I think yes, but kind of in a way that I think is unfair. Kellen has not really been required to go back to the tank, because I think a lot of the rotation in this patch that we've seen in Korea specifically has been based around the tank, right? And I don't think Ashe has been required to be sort of the carry player, right? I think having a perfectly serviceable Ashe works enough as long as the rest of your composition makes sense around it, right? So I think Decay has proven that he's good enough on hit scan that even a pedestrian Ashe would work if the composition works with it. But for Kellen, we haven't seen him in pro matches specifically in recent memory play things like the Sigma, right? And you know, it's not to say that he can't, just that he hasn't needed to up until this point, because again, historically, a main tank player rather than a flex tank player. So I think this roster, if they have that in their back pocket, like if Kellen has a Sigma in his back pocket, I think they're actually kind of fine in this meta.
Because like, I'm sorry to cut you off there. Just like kind of like elaborating on Kellen and his hero pool. I've been with this player. I've spent like a full year with this player at the New York Excelsior. Like yes, 2022 wasn't really the best of seasons for the Excelsior, but Kellen does have experience playing Sigma, and like, to be honest, I think there were a lot of improvements to be made on a Sigma at that time, but I can promise. Well, I mean, not necessarily. I don't like guarantee that his Sigma's gonna be like top level, but I know his work ethic, and I think we could probably expect a lot of improvements, even if we haven't seen Sigma on the highest level of gameplay of the 2023 season so far.
Yeah, and I mean that, like, if that comes in, like Kellen's Winston and actually even his Doomfist really are both really good, right? Like we've seen him pop off on those characters. So I have no fear on that aspect. And of course, Korea has tended towards the dive mostly, unless they can, unless teams know they can force Sigma because they're so much better than the other team. Like think back to that game, a stream ago, where Runaway, they can't play Sigma, so they end up just kind of. Against O2 High School, they end up looking a little silly at times. But no, I'm excited to see how 815 kind of plays out here. With all of those kind of caveats in place.
All right. I think that should be good enough for an introduction. Let's get to the games. Overwatch. Hello, Overwatch. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it takes time. For some reason, but
yeah.
Today, I think we've been mentioning on stream a little bit, on Twitter actually, a little bit. We are going to cover 815 versus ISOHAN, 815 versus XERO, 815 versus the Smurfs, and 815 versus Hamster. And these are including the knockout matches, so some of these matches will be a first to 3, while the earlier qualifier matches will be a first to 2. We'll start with the ISOHAN match, excuse me.
Does ISOHAN mean something specifically, or is it?
It's something that I cannot usually say on official broadcast.
Okay.
But like, this is not an official broadcast, right? So. ISOHAN is a shortened term of so Imo Soju Hanjan, which is like can I get like a shot of soju?
Oh, okay.
So
That's
officially that should not it's not something that we endorse in official tournaments, right? So we'll just keep it out of ISOHAN. Well, we're not going to talk about that on official.
Yeah, actually, that I mean, we obviously know the rules about official broadcast, right? Like, keep things, safe for work, essentially. Is the acronym, or like the shortened version, like, does it bypass? Like, when you can say LMFAO, right? But if you were to read the entire thing out, you couldn't read that on a broadcast, right? That's not the best example. It'll do for now. is it one of those cases where like the shortened version is okay because like even though it's referencing something, everyone knows that it's kind of okay to say?
It's kind of like MDY2, right?
Okay.
And, like, everyone knows about it, but we're not going to talk about it.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
So, if you look at the team compositions here, Kellen is actually going with the Doomfist dive. Neither team is going with the Sigma, maybe understandably because this is Gardens, right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing ISOHAN on the other side. We have Callius, we have Ants, we have Pelican, we have Tron, we have Vigilante. Merit and someone is also on this roster. However, both of them are playing in the Saudi E-League so far. So Ants is like, I guess, filling in, and then also Callius is playing.
Yeah. Ant's technically a coach in this roster, actually.
So how would you rate? Well, of course, I think there were. Sorry, I'm kind of tripping on my words right now. Teammate 1-5 getting the early cap, but Team ISOHAN like kind of like winning the the fight that follows right after. How would you kind of like rate this matchup between the Junker Queen and Doomfist?
I mean, you can displace the Doomfist with the knife, right? A lot of this really does depend on spacing. If the Doomfist can dodge the knife, then Carnage ends up being kind of useless. But it's all about timing, I think.
So as expected, we are seeing Decay on the hit scan roll. Like you said, necessarily he doesn't have to be like the world-class player to make a difference, but he does need to keep himself alive.
Yeah, that's a deflect from Pelican. Pelican, one of the best flex DPS players, right? Historically, anyway.
Yep.
Pelican also a really interesting hero pool. One of the better echoes in pro play, and then also has like a pretty nasty, I would say core hit scan, even though he doesn't play it too much.
There is that nano overclock we've been seeing so much. However, it only takes one. Pelican taking down two. So it is going to be once again. Oh, that's okay. Well, never mind, because I was about to say this fight was going in the favor of ISOHAN, but Chase-Sohan says no, and he is, I guess, extending this fight a little bit. Pelican wants to keep this fight alive in their favor, but is taken down. The Dragon Blade is denied. So,
actually, could we rewind like 15 seconds?
Sure.
Funnily enough, yeah, perfect. So Kellen actually jumps off the map here, on the engage.
Let's see.
Before the, I wonder what happened on this specifically. Sorry, Kellen, you're getting exposed live.
No, he's. I'm gonna reveal all his secrets tonight. Let's see.
Engage.
Oh. Hello. Wait.
What was that?
Wait, what was that?
Oh, I think you have your thing that's set at 20 seconds. So it went back,
yep.
Rewind.
My bad. It is.
Oops. Yep. There it is. That's the perfect spray to have for what Kellen just did.
All right. I want to see it here because he's dropping down here somewhere, right?
Yeah. I think it's still like another.
No,
it's a lot further forward.
Okay.
Because I think it's after he ults.
We'll just see this fight.
Yeah.
It birds to you. Ooh, nice punch though.
This is an interesting setup. They're actually leaving their supports on the bridge deliberately to be kind of bait so that Kellen can come in. And it sort of basically force them into the weak side of the map so that the DPS can clear up. But instead of like falling for that play, ISOHAN is just a lot faster on the engage, and they go in as a group. So before Kellen can actually get the stun in, they've already eliminated the competition.
So kind of also a interesting point here is that Develop's playing support right now. I mean, he was playing support.
He permanently role swapped, I think, like halfway through the year.
Oh.
I don't actually know what.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but
I don't know what Kellen was trying to do there, to be honest.
Anyway, we saw that. Didn't we have another support on the roster? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Faith.
Yes. No.
Sorry, no, MCD.
Yeah. So MCD's also. Well, I mean, I don't. I guess maybe it's a tactical decision, right? Oh, he didn't get the
beat. Yeah.
The beat.
Did he get LOS'd or like what happened?
No,
oh yeah, he just went. He just went too far. He just went too far on the dash. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Well,
I mean that was a Hail Mary play, and it just doesn't end up working.
All right, going back to the match, ISOHAN does have the overclock. I guess maybe that's the only tool until they have the Rampage online. But at the other side, Team 815 doesn't really have any ultimates. Well, apart from the beat, like if they use the sound barrier here, then it's gonna be Callius's turn. It's gonna be Callius's turn to use the Rampage. And a lot of low health bars on the side of Team 815. Maybe they don't even need it. Oh well, Decay just fell down. What's with environmental deaths?
815 just hears the call of the void, and they must respond. I mean, in fairness, Callius was in his face and he was like 10 HP, so he went from like he went for like a play to like slide off the map and like jump back up, but mistimed it. But that's not nearly as funny as thinking he threw himself off intentionally.
This is final fight territory. They need to touch. Chisoan does. Kellen is probably going to be the next one to touch. Good stun onto Ans and Choro. However, it does not look that they have enough tools to make this fight happen because Callius is still holding on to this Rampage, looking for the perfect opportunity. Chisoan does have the pulse bomb as well. Ans falls, so this is bad news for ISOHAN. Callius needs to use his ultimate quick, yet very low. May not have enough healing and dies with that Rampage on. So it's going to be a flip. Team 815 lives to fight another day. I still have that feeling that Callius probably should have used that all to just close out the fight.
I mean, you're exactly right. The wording you used was perfect there. He's searching for the perfect ultimate, but perfect is often the enemy of success, right? He needs to find a good enough ult. 2 squishies, and you can get the eliminations. It's good. I don't know what Callius was really searching for there. It just feels a little over-aggressive from him.
So, early Kitsune to start the aggression. Decay falls, but a lot of ultimates used on the side of ISOHAN as well, so they absolutely do need to win this fight if they want to close out this map. Overtime is ticking. Callius is there, but for how long can he stay on the point? The Dragon Blade is denying a lot of squishies from their lives. Yes, Kellen is still hanging on to dear life, but not for long. Maybe at very low health bars on the board. Kellen lives to see the... Kellen lives, but Chisoan is forced into touching, and I don't... Okay, Faith uses the sound barrier to keep himself alive and touch, but will not be enough as ISOHAN takes round 1 of Legion Tower.
After all that time, Callios gets a 0-man Rampage.
Well, Callius is also one of the tanks that I've been working with at the New York Excelsior in a different timeline. So it's really, this kind of is really an interesting matchup for me personally, because I've been with the Excelsior from year 2021 to late 2022. So these are the two tanks that I've been, working with in the New York Excelsior. It's really interesting to see how they fare out.
Nice. Now you cannot be biased because there's 2 former players of yours.
Yep.
That's how that works, right?
Yep. The more players that I've worked with, the more biased I am. So they're perfectly even.
Yeah.
We are at some point next week watching O2 High School. Yeah, we will be covering O2 High School at some point. And is this live? No, this is a replay VOD review. We're just having fun. In terms of compositions, we're not seeing anything, I guess, terribly different. Both teams are using the Sojourn for making, I guess, headshot picks. Oh, Faith takes care of On, so that's 1 member down, and numbers disadvantage for the side of ISOHAN, and it looks like it's gonna be mostly cleanup for Team 815, and we'll be able to secure an early point. Pelican does dash in to maybe deny that cap, but was a little bit too late. So it is a forced team fight. And Kellen pushes them back into the point where they have to be in the line of sight of Team 815 on 6 Sound Faith. So that's sound boost, well, that speed boost and a little bit of healing denied for the side of Team 815. They are flushed out of the point and early flip back to the side of ISOHAN.
Actually, a small window here where they're trying to go, but Pelican doesn't have dash to stay away. Man, Kellen is doing a lot of damage.
Yep.
Like he and Choice 1 have the first ults of the round, which is impressive.
So Pulse Bomb goes wide, and Kellen uses ultimate for survival. Charong uses the sound barrier, so this is actually turning into a very big fight here. That was a good back cap by Chisohan, and he knows that this fight is already over, and he just wants to deny a lot of the percentages from the side of ISOHAN. In the end, yes, ISOHAN takes back the point, but not a lot of progress as they would have probably wanted, because they knew that this fight was won early on.
Yeah. Actually, Hans gets saved there by the commanding shout. I think there was a... I think Decay hit a railgun on him, but no follow-up to that extra health.
Okay.
This is gonna be an interesting fight. I think I expect him to nano Kellen here. Develop, that is.
Maybe just for him to survive. No, he's not able to get that nano to survive.
Wait, what is this nano?
You do not question develop, I guess. Ons is very low. He still has... So the overclock expires and has to fall. So in the end, Nano and Faith was actually worth it. It looked like it was a losing fight for the side of Team 815 because they lost Kellen really, really early, and then the Nano went on to Faith. Not to mention the Pelican also used the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, the blade from Pelican was actually pretty poor. Has to like kind of kite away and doesn't actually get a ton of eliminations. That being said, I don't actually think this ended up being a fight win, even with that rally. So it looked good, but not good enough. And this is going to be a round closeout. And just a map end, actually.
That's very interesting. I want to see some of the last minutes of this fight because, remember, I just want to go all the way back to the rally. The Nano rally. Maybe I have to go back a little bit more. So Kellen fell early.
Yeah.
So this is the fight. And this is the Nano rally. Oh, dude, poor Kalios. They had a two-man advantage. And Ons was not able to he took out Decay. But still, it probably should have been a fight that they should have been a fight.
Okay, so
they never got the flip.
Yeah, it's a good tag in by Chorong to keep the contest. And then they never just like get their advantage ever. Despite having the advantage, at no point do they actually confirm the eliminations. That is just a weird fumble. They just never target the same player, and so they allow like 30% of the point to go by, despite having a two-player advantage.
Yeah, that was kind of questionable to say the least. And like, to be honest, I think Team 815 was doing like pretty decently until like that very end of the fight, right? Yes, they were losing fights here and there a little bit, but they were also winning fights, and I didn't necessarily think that like they were. It didn't look like Team 815 was a weaker team than ISOHAN. But
no, I think mechanically they were right there with them, and I think they were in certain instances, outside some like rare, really odd errors, as good in terms of team play. But there's just some like weird mental lapses almost.
All right, we are going to map 2 in the series.
Isn't this the season 3 version of Blizzard World?
I'm sorry?
Isn't this the season 3 version of Blizzard World? Because it's raining, right? I don't think it's like this right now on live. I think live is the rain has stopped.
I do not know, to be honest. But yeah, unfortunately I don't have the knowledge to confirm that. But interestingly enough, no changes on the side of Team 815. MCD not coming in yet. ISOHAN, I keep saying ISOHAN. ISOHAN is running the Sigma composition. So, no Sigma from the side of Team 815 yet.
Yeah. Also, Anson must be highlighted. Hasn't really looked comfortable on Sojourn in his pro career. Didn't play it that much.
Yeah, he was playing more like Ashe, like it's Widowmaker-ish. I mean, after all, he is like Anson sniper. So, well, I mean, not to say that Sojourn isn't a sniper, but it's a sniper that requires a little bit more setup, right?
Yeah. Also, even when he was on the LA Gladiators, Sojourn was out then. He didn't really look comfortable playing it. But yeah, Ashe definitely one of his more comfort picks.
Oh, Kellen was a little bit isolated there. If you look here, everyone was looking at like that little room over there, and Kellen, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Maybe Develop was there as well before he fell. So I think maybe some signs of miscommunication on this team so far, but we'll see how it goes.
It looked like that same setup that they were trying to do on Garden on Lijiang Tower, where they set in a bait, and then try and collapse inwards. But it's a play like that at this level has to be perfect, right? You cannot be too slow on your approach. Otherwise, it ends up just being a sacrifice because players at this level don't miss.
Yeah, and then like that really entails that kind of plan entails your flex support to not die.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of like a little bit more difficult with Sigma on the other side because of the shield denying the nade, the sleep dart. Maybe if it was like a Winston composition or maybe even like a mirror Doomfist composition, it might have been a little bit easier. But I think against a Sigma composition, it's a little bit harder. There is that Nano taking out Aunts. So this is good news for the side of Team 815. They're at a numbers advantage, but we've seen that numbers advantage. Despite the numbers advantage, they've fumbled before. Kellen very low, taken down. Kalios using that Gravitic Flux. Faith does not have Bleat yet, so oh wait, Faith actually lives, and Decay is took out Vigilante. Chorong is using the rally. This fight is all over the place. Chisoan, I think, stuck the Pulse Bomb on Kalios.
Yes. What a disaster of a fight. Oh my word.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I kind of gave up analyzing this fight like mid-fight because just kind of like talking about the fight. Let's just talk about that previous fight.
I think this is actually a perfect. This fight is emblematic of the issues that 815 has. It's so in a fight that devolves into chaos, you should really favor more often than not favor the team that can control mobility, right? That can swiftly retreat to high ground or force different lines of sight, or really just get into position to actually do things. The static composition shouldn't be as effective. However, again, target focus just isn't there. Like Decay, Faith, Kellen are all looking at a different player. Like Faith is dueling Pelican, Kellen is trying to fight Chorong, Decay was, I don't know, shooting at Aunts maybe. And when all three of your dive is like looking at someone else, nothing's going to die, especially not against a Baptiste. And 815 now, this is multiple maps in a row where they just aren't really on the same page. Yep. Kind of an unforced error from them, actually.
Yeah, and like especially if you're playing a dive composition against a more slower composition, like you said, LaFon, like they have to be the ones kind of like making the chaos, not like they have to force errors from them, not making unforced errors of their own. Well, this is a good start. Vigilante is taken down by Decay. So Develop once again is just left out to die, and Faith, yes, they're a little bit too late, and Faith is taken down as well. So this team is getting teared apart one by one, and this is not something that we've been expecting from the team of this caliber, like with the player names of this caliber.
Yeah, Kellen actually doesn't get the beat from Faith there. and so he's forced to use the meteor strike too early. So he is also out of sync with the rest of his team when they try and dive a target with the sound barrier advantage. On's back on his signature hero, by the way, and then instantly gets put down.
I want to see that one again. 86.
Oh, it's a railgun headshot, yeah.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That was nasty.
That was sick, yeah. Also, Kellen making a switch now on the Winston.
Okay, so
This is a better dive fight. I mean, it's all started because of an early pickoff, but like, this is what they should look like, all on the same target. Pelican has no way to respond. They all just fall over.
well, to be honest, I think. Oh, good nade from Devel. Let's see this out a little bit. Chorong is taking down. Good sleep, Devel. Although Devel fell. So this is a little bit. This is a much better showing from the side of 815. They did change to the Winston, but basically, in theory, it should be having the same win conditions as their Doomfist dive. But I to be honest, I'll be very honest here. I think Decay was the difference maker there. Like, even during that fight, yes, they did have a little bit of a better target acquisition than the previous fights, but they were still looking at different targets. However, just like Decay taking out two members of Team ISOHAN just like single-handedly makes it a lot easier, because your spread of target acquisition, like, kind of like, the chances that you will hit different targets will decrease when you have 3 players instead of 5 enemies.
Well, I mean, that's true. Let's see if they can continue. See if they can just get better target focus here. Oh, poor Decay.
Oh, poor Decay. There's no way.
I mean, ult for ult trade.
But ult for ult, but still, it's ISOHAN who gets
kills. The other one didn't, so you know. And I mean, this is one of the things that we're seeing, though, is like, the Sigma is just a stronger pickup than... You just control so much more space than the dive can in the current patch. You have to be so much more on point with dive. Essentially,
Go ahead.
I don't want to say mediocre. An average Sigma composition will beat an average dive composition every day, I think.
If you're at the same skill level, you're definitely gonna win.
Yeah.
So this is why we've been talking about compositions a lot. Given that if you're in the same skill level, the Sigma composition will almost beat everything except for a brawly composition like the Ramatra or the Reinhardt, which we've been actually seeing in some of these compositions. However, it looks like they might be able to make something happen here. Kalios very low. The drone has to be invested, but Kellen falls even despite using the Primal Rage. Faith taking down. Chisoan has to live if he wants to touch it in any capacity, which looks like it's going to be very hard because he has to dash out, but no! He just gets taken down by Pelican. I don't think Decay can even touch.
No, he cannot. Pelican is making sure that he can't. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I mean, it's so tough. We've seen this consistently, I think. On top of the fact that, like, the Sigma composition, which is like a poke-ish comp, it is often better, or is more consistent than the dive. I don't want to say better. It is easier to get value out of than dive. There's also the thing that, like, it necessarily drains a lot of time approaching fights against the Sigma. Like, every fight you take is going to be long. And with the fact that you can, like, make ground up, it makes the offense that much more mandatory for the dive composition. And if you're not getting, like, second plus on your hybrids, you're not going to win, right? I would be very surprised if ISOHAN even has, or sorry, if 815 manages to stop this cart with like 2 minutes left. It feels like it's inevitable the way ISOHAN is playing on this particular setup. And
also, I want to point out that playing the Doomfist, playing like the dive compositions, kind of forces the Ana pick. And then the way Team 815 is playing the Ana is really, I guess, I'm not trying to discredit Develop here. It's just that as a team maneuver, Faith, look at Faith's position right now. He is nowhere near Develop. He is not getting the necessarily, I guess, Even when they were on attack, Develop was not in a position where he can be saved by his teammates. So, from ISOHAN's perspective, it's a very high priority target, and as long as he can get the Ana down, that's gonna be an easy teamfight win for the side of ISOHAN.
Also, because they're playing so separated, the break is actually not that scary to take down, right? You can actually pressure her out fairly easily. Oh my god, Kellen, the Kellen's dead.
See, I want to kind of, revisit this fight here. See, if you look here, there's no way Kellen's gonna get healing from Faith. He's not, Faith is not even gonna, make the Inspire happen. Maybe the idea was that Faith was trying to kind of give resources to ISOHAN, but in the end, it only Develop would be in a position to give Kellen any healing resources. And then just look at this. So as soon as, I'm sorry to cut you off here, as soon as Kellen dives here, the only support that he can get again is still Develop. And if you look here, in Develop's perspective, there are so many ways that ISOHAN can just run into Develop. And if you can cut the healing resources from Develop to Kellen, Kellen is just a sitting duck. Yes,
yeah.
Doomfist has good sustainability on his own. Yes, the over health and maybe the power block, but you're not gonna survive long against 5 members of a professional owl level team.
I also think this is one of the plays. Kalios here has an easy play to make. Literally, just put his shield up, right, and you entirely destroy. Yeah, there it is. Look, Develop cannot. Kellen is just dead. He doesn't even get healing anymore. And I actually like this play a lot. And you highlighted the fact that it's 5 players. Kalios does the right thing. 4 players are going to be able to take care of Kellen, right? So just take Develop out of the equation entirely, and you win a war on 2 fronts. It's a bad setup by 815. No matter which way you look at it, it's tough to even give credit to ISOHAN for this one because it's an obvious play. And I do mean give credit in the sense they didn't draw this up. They just took advantage of the what was afforded to them.
Yep.
And now they get 5 minutes to move the payload what? 70 meters?
70 meters. Yeah, so
when Kellen 1v5s the next time? Yeah, when that happens, I'll give you $10. How about that?
Okay. I'll be waiting. Kellen, please. Please make something happen. Oh, Paul is here. Hey, I'll you can join in if you want. I thought you were sleeping there, buddy. And I thought that.
Okay, where's the map control? Hello, 815. You have a game to play. 815 just fell asleep at the wheel. What's going on here?
Yep, they're not. I think Kellen's a little bit too scared to contest the point at this point.
I mean, the map's over.
It is.
The game, actually, this match is over. Hello? Touch
Hello?
the point?
Hello? No, what? What?
Can we report 815 for that? What was that? Hello?
Let me just take a, well, number one, we need Paul to join in, so we'll wait a minute for that, and I will use that meantime to personally call Kellen about that. I hurt. I pain for that right now. Oh. All right.
Listen. So on an official sanctioned broadcast. Let's open. I'll go start the other call, by the way, because otherwise Paul won't be able to join us.
Yep. All right.
All right, we're back.
Yep, we're out.
Also, we need to stream back. Okay, so on a sanctioned broadcast, I wouldn't be able to say this, but over here, I could be like, please turn your monitors on. Hello? There's a game being played.
Exactly. Hello. Hey, Paul. How was your broadcast? Hey, he's been while we were doing this, are not paid. Just for fun stuff. Paul has been actually having a job. How's that?
Debatable, but yeah, technically. It was good. It was good. You know, some collegiate Valorant stuff. Yeah, good times.
All right. How much have you seen of
Absolutely
815?
I tuned in for that 5 minutes like 2 nights ago when we had like an hour-long break. I think it was the Smurfs who weren't playing that well or something. And that's all I've seen.
Okay. So for the record here, this is their second qualifier match. Team 815 versus XERO, which is also a pretty quality team.
Could you start the stream up for us, by the way?
Oh, sorry.
All good, all good.
Just a second. I forgot.
Sunjin, my goat, on the correct role. Bro is playing DPS.
Wait, who?
Sunjin, on
Oh, no more Doomfist.
in Contenders last season. Remember he was on Euphoria, where they were doing like that weird role swapping stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunjin played every role at one point.
Well,
Yes.
okay, played is a strong role, strong word. He selected every role.
He selected every role, yeah.
Okay. So very fast-paced first fight. Look, I think they had a stern telling from Swing B here. They're actually hitting the same targets now. At least for now.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect mirror, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. This
I was
is.
just about to ask, is this a comp we've been seeing a lot?
The Doomfist has been played a lot. The teams that are actually expected to win are playing Sigma though.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of like goes like this kind of extends from the Overwatch World Cup meta, right? A lot of the teams have been playing Sigma a lot, and then the team from China was playing the Doomfist like the dive as kind of I think it's kind of like a variation to Gushui's like Winston dive, but just a little bit with a lot more options, I guess. But it does entail. It does require the team to have a lot more, I guess. It does have stricter win conditions, if I may say.
I also think that like when it comes to like the Doomfist Winston, I don't think there are very many players in the world that can do what Gushua did, right? Like,
Oh, none.
Gushua's like at his absolute worst, the second best Winston in the world, right? And then on Doomfist is like top 5. So
On Doomfist is like top 2. Let's be honest.
Who would you rate top 1?
Man, I mean, probably Gushue, honestly, off the top
here's,
of my
here's,
head.
here's the thing: we haven't seen
I
a
have to
ton of
think
like
about other
Doomfist.
Doomfist players.
We haven't seen a ton of Doomfist just in general. So like when I say top 5, I don't mean it like in a ranked sense. Just sort of like that's where I put him at the very minimum. You know what I mean? But like in terms of Winston, it's like him and Fearless, right? Like surely.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Good.
Wow, that's a lot of them.
yeah, that's a lot of ultimates. Team 815 absolutely has to win this fight.
XERO also used everything.
But if they're keeping the point, that's their win.
This might be the least damage Nano Overclock has gotten like ever.
I was gonna say Decay didn't really get squat with that. Choicer wanted fragging.
I mean, Knife didn't get anything with it either. He was nanoed with Overclock too.
So this is kind of like a weird fight, where this fight should have ended like a lot earlier, like in both sides, I guess, for both sides.
This really feels like 815 just know how to play faster. Keep in mind, like the players on 815, the majority of them have played on top tier rosters, or have played like against some of the, not just on top tier rosters, but against like the fastest playing teams in the world. And it feels like right now, XERO just a step behind.
First one's also getting marked a lot less. I mean, you saw Sunjin was
that's
trying to
true.
go over for the like wraparound, and Decay was immediately there marking him. Although he actually spends too long out of the fight here, I think.
Hey, so this is actually a fight win for XERO here, and they fight. Maybe potentially last fight if they lose, but their support ultimates will be online a little bit. Like the Nano is going to be online a little bit earlier, so maybe they can use that to their advantage. But if not, Irony gets caught out by Decay.
That's just a disrespectful setup by Irony. You cannot go against Sojourn and walk like that.
Oh, good stick too from Troy.
And he waits out the shield badge to prevent the counterpunch. It's a good round. I mean, even though it's 81 to 99, this is not a close round.
Yeah, it's more like you know, both points are just like
While there were complicated fights going on, but anytime anyone was getting meaningful percentage, it was 815.
Hey, it's more like 815 was getting like was in the driver's rule in both directions, right? Because when they win on their terms. When they lose, like it's their fault as well.
This is really messy.
Yeah.
They're gonna give it up. I actually like this play to wait for the resets because they got the later pick. So it's safer to like. I mean, that being said, they don't actually have anything, and Overclock's coming in.
Yeah, Knife is going to approach that Overclock, and I don't know. Yes, they don't have the Nano, but still, it's gonna be a big threat. Overtime is gonna tick on favor of XERO.
I mean, the thing is, with the Meteor Strike, though, you can just wait out the Overclock. Yeah. Kellen gets enough of a juggle there on the point to where the one ult that they had is kind of useless.
No, but to be fair, like, if Knife did take out Faith earlier, like, with that, when the Overclock was online, it would have been his fight. Ooh. It would have been XERO's fight. I want to see that one again. Oh.
Troy's playing so good.
I mean, when has Troy not been good, though?
This is something. Yeah, this is something that's been kind of like because he was like Guangzhou Charge for so long. People have forgotten how good choice they want.
Yeah, I think like even on the Charge, like everyone, a lot of people at least in the at least in like the professional esports community, a lot of people knew how good Choi was. It was just tough for him to get dropped.
Yeah, we won't. I mean, his teammates like play with him too, right? So
yeah, exactly, right. No, like he literally just gets dropped for what was it, like money reasons or like the all Chinese roster or whatever it was?
I don't think it was ever public why they they dropped him.
Yeah, it was never public for why they dropped it. Just like I guess maybe some posts on it in his personal blog or something like that, but nothing really public.
Was it Faraway who posted on public about it? I think it was. I can't really remember.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Sunjin Junkrat. This is so he can't play off meta stuff by changing role. So now he's just playing off meta stuff.
I mean, this is one of like the few points in the game though where Junkrat is generally decent.
See, if it was any other player that picked it, I would give him the benefit of the doubt. But because it's Sunjin, he has lost that. That privilege.
Well, I mean, I do want to also point out that Team 815 really likes the Doofus composition, which I'm really kind of I don't know how I feel about it because like you said, LaFine. Like at the start of the stream, Kellen is really like talented in a lot of other main tank roles as well, right? And like, why not? At this point, I'm kind of like thinking, why not play the Rhyme Brawl? Especially after, you know, if Attack's gonna play Sigma, we know for a fact that Attack really prefers the Sigma. Yes, he did not play Sigma in the last round, but
no, but like, really Sigma has been one of his like.
What's really funny is this is actually the perfect meta for Attack. Sigma Doomfist is the two tanks that are playable. Literally his perfect meta. Like, if you had told Attack like 2 years ago, listen, there's gonna be a meta at some point where you can play Sigma Doomfist. You'd have been like, I don't believe you, and also, God, I can't wait until that comes back, like right now.
I think Attack's getting a little greedy with these accretions, though. He's not really controlling Kellen very well.
Well, the important thing is that he doesn't really have to.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, I guess if he can just do that.
No.
Also, I like how Sunjin, the Junkrat experiment, ended and instantly became more valuable with the Tracer.
I mean, you know, crazy how that works. I think the Junkrat is better into a mirror-ish, right? Like if they're playing another Sigma comp, I think the Junkrat works better. But
Yeah,
you're
maybe.
just gonna get the absolute balls dove off you in against the Doomfist comp.
And also,
And you're
like
never gonna hit
if you're playing against a more stationary composition, then definitely like
Yeah,
for
exactly.
example, like a Ryan brawl that
Yeah,
I've
if
been
they
talking
were actually
about.
playing the Reinhardt, yeah.
But if you look at the other fight here that we've been watching, we've been mentioning the accretions, but attack doesn't necessarily even have to man Markellen that hard, because if you look at the losing fights that Team 815 just like they're taking, they're just coming to you like as if they have an insurance policy, but they really don't.
This is a fight. This is going to be an interesting fight because, like, this fight is going to spell the rest of this round. If it's an overinvestment from 815, they lose. But if they can be efficient about it, they actually have a really good chance of, like, kind of closing this round out themselves.
Oh,
What is
wait.
Kay doing?
They're going for a nano overclock, but the nano's too late, so he dies.
Yikes!
Like, the
Oh my
nano's
god,
spent.
you're right. Yeah, the nano.
This is BM. That is so BM. That is so funny.
Also, note that we have a Cassidy on board.
Yeah. The only reason we notice now is because Cassidy, as he is all the time, was basically invisible.
I mean, I like, to be honest, I kind of like Cassidy, especially against, like, specifically against the Doomfist.
Yeah, no, that was just my opportunity
Yeah.
to make fun of Cassidy, and I took it. Even though that's not like the analytical point I was actually gonna make, it's funnier that way.
Also Cassidy in Control Center versus the Sojourn. You just have more consistent damage, especially since the Sojourn has to go into the Sigma Shield.
No, it's actually not a bad pick on that particular point. It's just that we never see Cassidy, so it was funny to make fun of it.
Whoa! Attack! Have you guys been seeing any Junker Queen?
Yes, Junker
Yeah,
Queen
okay.
is so.
That makes me feel less strange about this.
Junker Queen is like decent against the Doomfist. But this is a skill matchup. Is what it is.
So if you hit the knife, if you land the knife on Kellen, it works. If you don't, it's kind of hard.
Actually, and realistically, the Doomfist should avoid the Junker Queen until she's going for Carnage, and then cancel it. Or attacking just like Carnage Air. That works too.
Sorry about
Wait,
that.
opener got punched off the map.
Wait, was that really off the map?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can hear the death scream.
Oh,
My game
wait,
blew
knife.
up.
Oh,
my god. Wait,
Knife
knife
two.
too.
redemption arc for Kellen.
Oh no, man.
Helen heard the call of the void, and then
I think that's a pretty
Feeds the
greedy
call.
setup.
No,
for
because the last because on the previous game, Kellen jumped off the map
yes.
on
That's
on Gardens, the same
Yes.
sub map.
This time he heard the call of the void, but rather than sacrificing himself, he sacrificed his enemies. This is what we call growth.
I was gonna say
Either that or he's a
character
warlock, and that's this analysis brought to you by D&D.
All right,
We are not
development.
sponsored.
Attack
Just,
needs to be. If you're just gonna run at the enemy backline, you need like more support.
and then also what I think is that you probably don't want Kiriko as your support line as well.
I think you're in the Kiriko here just because it's very self-sufficient, so you don't have to babysit the Kiriko.
No, but then why? And if you're gonna play like, no, why not play Jotes? Like, to be 100% honest, like,
They are now.
wait, are they?
I mean, basically, the only difference is that in Jotes there was Brig instead of
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiriko.
Yeah.
But Kiriko wasn't released then, so you know.
Okay.
This is a very anticlimactic round after the rest of the map, because this is going to be essentially 100-0.
Like, the reason why I don't like the Zero setup here is that, remember, like, yes, Team 815 is playing a lot kind of like better than they were playing against ISOHAN, but just look at the setup here. Kellen's looking at Knife and Sunjin, and then just like yes, there's decay that's threatening, like I guess a railgun headshot, like, to whoever's kind of like trying to run the bridge, but Development Faith is very, very far away from the rest of their team, and like accessing them like is really. Remember we saw Blizzard World, versus when they were as ISOHAN, but if you're playing the Junker Queen here and the Kiriko, you're not going to get as easy access to the backline as you probably want. Maybe the idea is that you want to throw out the kunais and maybe just kind of like two-shot develop, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this setup right now. I think that 815 is kind of like, could be punished more harshly, but
I think the way I would probably change this setup, and I mean, granted, we haven't seen a ton of it in this patch, so maybe, this is going off historical anecdote than anything else. You run your Kiriko Genji as a duo, and then you have the other 3 play together.
Oh, the sleep. Oh, attack almost goes off the map there.
That's such a bad rampage.
The rampage only takes Kellen and Ed. Oh, okay.
I'll be honest.
Okay, well, that's really pretty
funny. That is kind of funny. It really just kind of looks like not 815. That Zero just don't understand this composition that well.
Exactly, and Opener also has to use the sound barrier for some random reason, and still loses knife. Yes, it's 94%. So
I think it must have been a nano overclock. That's why he used sound barrier.
Maybe.
But like after they lose 2 members.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's also last fight, right?
It is last fight, yeah.
I agree.
That was
really
100-0. Ugh.
See, I don't know how I feel about some of these fights.
I mean,
that just looked like Zero understand. Like comparing that to their control center, they just clearly don't understand that comp as well. Like there was never a single time where Zero were all on the same page.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree. Like usually, you try to like identify your win conditions. If you have a specific composition against like A composition versus B composition, there are clear win conditions that you have, and then it's whether you execute them or not, or if the other team executes their win conditions better than you. But in this case, as at least on Gardens, I don't think that Zero just kind of like identified their win conditions as well. And
I mean, they never coordinated to get onto any backline members, right? Attack was always 20 yards away from anything Sunjin or Knife were trying to do.
Well, at least I like this composition from Zero. It gives a lot. I guess this has a potential to isolate Kellen even more, and then just pick them out one by one. And
I am concerned for 815. It's the same concerns we had about Runaway, though. Like, this dive is looking... The thing is, they didn't look as good on the dive as Runaway did. So what happens when they run up against a team that can like play the Sigma comp like really, really well?
Attack?
What is Attack doing here?
I have no idea.
It's gonna work because this composition is so broken that like...
Yeah.
Comp diff.
Like there's any other tank is dead in that corner.
Yes. If it was the Doofus, it would have been certain death. If it was anything else, maybe a Narisa, maybe, but
yeah,
doesn't really.
But there's
matter.
no reason that an immortality field alone should keep a tank up alive that long.
I don't know if I love the Winston swap.
I don't. It's basically like for me. I think like once the Winston dive composition and the Doofus dive composition is basically has the same win conditions as like they're identical. And,
yeah, I will.
Now,
I was gonna say
you've attracted Zero into the Bastion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like if there's no Bastion, the Winston is actually better in terms of like the setup. But then you just switch Bastion and ruin Kellen's life. Especially
since it was like right after point swap and spawn is right there.
Yeah.
Like what? Knife's gonna hold on to the dead eye? Not like what a sleep dart.
Yeah, what a sleep dart. That was a good sleep dart by default.
Wait, they still lose. Okay, I was gonna say there's no way.
no
way.
No.
Look.
Oh my God, you are getting spam rated.
Whoa.
Oh, am I?
What the shit?
Yeah, what is this?
Your band buddy is gonna get workout today.
Oh.
Also, they got off the Bastion for some reason. Like, Bastion is just better than this
I don't know why.
Maybe they just wanted an honorable win,
Beat
you know?
was super necessary there. I guess you beat to avoid the overclock, but I think you could have won that without it.
Quantifiable results. My ultimate is charging.
Oh, Sunjin. Now Sunjin's going to the back. What's going on here, Sunjin? Stop playing
Bro,
Mr. Heroes.
Yeah,
Stick
I was
on
gonna say Zero are literally like playing spawn roulette
Why?
right now.
Why?
Why
You
have they
have the
swapped their
better
whole comp?
Why have you spawned to a worse composition?
Hey, I was deleting messages here, and what am I seeing? Like, where'd the Sigma go? Where'd the Bastion go?
Does Zero have a does Zero have a coach?
I hope so.
Let's say they don't, so that way we don't have to
Legit
roast.
question: do they have a coach? Because if not, then I at least understand how this happened. But
If they do,
this
that's
is baffling.
here's the thing. If they do, then you're roasting a person like
okay.
straight up.
I don't really.
Oh, I don't have their page.
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily roasting the coach. I could also be roasting all 5 players for not listening to the coach.
Good save, Paul. Good save.
Look, somebody needs to get roasted when this stuff is happening.
Like, number one, it's just even
Oh,
apart,
Callan.
even apart from the comp changes, I still don't agree with how Zero is kind of like working out, like playing right now, because I think Paul mentioned it at some point, but attack is just so far forward, and is like almost playing like he doesn't expect or want support from his teammates, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Attack is playing ranked in a competitive match.
So I don't know. Maybe he was asking
I
for.
straight up have not seen Knife Attack and Sunjin on the same page once. Like, look, Knife is dueling Choisei Wan, or trying to. Callan is in the back line. Sunjin is the only one actually who accomplished anything.
Oh, he saw that sleep dart go down. He still needs to run for dear life.
I mean, that's good focus at least. All it took was a Genji having Nano Blade for all of Zero to actually look at the same target.
I hate that they captured the second point on this composition.
Because
it's going to if they're gonna think it's like, oh, our
It
comp,
works.
the Doomfist comp is better than the Sigma one.
Also, I'm a little bit surprised Callan doesn't swap back to the Doomfist. Like, they were just winning the mirror earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a confidence issue, maybe, because like he even in the Overwatch League, he's shown a lot of better, I guess, performances on the Winston. Like Winston was still one of like the bright spots, even when the Excelsior was struggling, right?
That's true.
Sure.
Like why? Look.
This is such a weird setup
What
from
was
both
Knife's
teams.
What was Knife's health there when he left? Because like Attack and Knife were actually kind of on the same page for a second, and then they weren't. Wait, Develop hits this anti all the way from over here. Oh wait, no, this is a different. Because look, Attack and Knife actually on the same page,
On decay.
He just leaves.
and then Knife just leaves.
This ends.
Well, Brig is so vulnerable. Knife goes back to shoot the Winston bubble, dude.
This is weird. Like,
This is a bizarre fight.
yeah, I like my brain just.
Also, we're roasting Zero here. What is 815 doing?
I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea what's going on.
This is one of the fights of all time. Like what?
Why did Choisei won't even get up there?
He blinked across from the opposite bridge.
It's on the opposite bridge. Wow.
Oh.
Ooh, okay, that's not bad. Well, Decay dying makes it bad. Oh, that's...
Oh!
Everybody's
Oh,
already
irony.
dead.
Probably Kellen should have popped the Primal Rage.
I mean, they're down 3, so I
They were
understand
all
why
dead.
he did it.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
No, but he still has to, like, I mean, I guess, but he still has to kind of, like, at least touch the point. Like, yes, they do in the end, but, like, they still give up too much space. Like, this is, like, such a straight line that Sunjin, it's just setting up Sunjin for success.
Yeah.
The nano on knife too. I mean, yeah. Zero just pop all their ults here. Wait, they nanoed Kellen. Ooh, wait,
But-
I actually like that. They nano Kellen at the very end of the primal.
If opener falls here,
he's
that's
low health, and
oh,
he
they
gets,
don't get to finish opener.
The tickle damage back. That's nice.
Yeah, they don't finish opener here.
Attack dying at the end of.
Ooh, Choi is so good.
I think the thing that's like really impressive about Choi Se-won on Tracer is not his mechanics, even though those are fantastic. It's like his decision making.
Yes.
Like he knows when to go for that risky play.
Well, like, can it not be the same for Proper as well? Like Proper's Tracer, like I've like been going against him a lot in scrims, like when he was on O2 in Korea. Like, yes, like just pure aim mechanics is also really great as well, but like
Yeah.
the way he knows when. Like he kind of like it seems like he knows how many abilities or how many cooldowns
Yes.
that can be used against him, and so when to like be aggressive, when to be passive, when to just like run for dear life.
Actually, that's something. Proper looks like he always has 2 blinks available. Choi Se-won is very similar. Like he rarely gets caught out with no resources. Like even here, like look at this. There are a bunch of Tracers that would have already died by this point.
Oh,
I mean, they still lose the round because they just run out of. No, wait, hold on. They run
I
out
was
of
gonna
time.
say, wait, was that big old Charlie?
No, they have Nano, they have Overclock, and they're about to have Rally, and they don't use any of it.
they use the rally.
Oh, they tried a nano rally.
I mean, Nano Rally just never touches. I think Develop gets gets staggered like on the spawn wave, so like this I should be clear because that means something different now because spawn waves are a thing. They never get a true reset after Develop dies, so they can't get the Nano play off. That's unlucky timing. Still, no overtime, so.
Yep. It still means that Zero has to full cap. Oh no, 815 has to full cap in
Yeah.
order for a chance to win.
815 is getting really lucky that Zero wants to like go dive.
Yes.
There,
I agree.
there really is no reason this should be happening.
Like, yeah, the Sigma. Like, where has that been the entire map? Like, I guess.
I cannot fathom what convinced 8-1 or 0 to swap off the Sigma after 1 fight loss on it.
Like,
Not
and
just the
also
Sigma, the Sigma
the Bastion.
Yeah.
Like they're playing Winston. Callan was playing Winston literally from the moment he swapped. They switched Bastion once, and then it didn't work for 1 fight because 815 had ults, and then Zero was like, "Well, guess it never will work."
That's.
It simply cannot be done.
Oof. Well, at least we're not seeing the Doomfist here. I think I'm still concerned about Team 815's, I guess, team flexibility that we've been mentioning at the start of this stream. It kind of feels like Runaway, right? Where
Yeah.
I don't think Team 815, at least at the current moment, is comfortable with playing anything other than to dive because I've been mentioning, yes, they have different characteristics a little bit, but Winston and Doomfist dive comp, in essence, have the same win conditions, and it looks like they're not comfortable playing a different style, at least at the moment. And while look, like I'm trying. I'm basically roasting both teams at the same time. But like, why is attack even like all the way back up there?
Yeah, attack is literally 1v4.
Yeah.
Not figuratively 1v4, like, sometimes we exaggerate and say, oh, he's 1v4 when he's, he's got line
Like
of sight.
he's
to,
diving
no, he's
into
actually 1v4.
Yeah, he's diving into enemy lines when he's not a dive tank. Like, oh well.
Maybe this is why they're playing Doomfist. Attack just doesn't know how to play anything but, like, hyper-aggressive. Even though he can pick the Sigma character and knows how to do it mechanically, his positioning is like that of a dive tank.
Exactly, and he just walk dives into. Well, that was actually a quick point A, which means that Zero has a lot of work to do if they want.
And now attacks on Winston? Bro.
Well, I mean, yes, you called out for it. He is playing a dive character.
Yeah, but Attack doesn't have a good Winston.
Attack's Winston has never been very.
Do he
Like,
care? Does he care?
good.
No, apparently not. It's not often I say a player has a bad character, right? Like, I'll say, oh, he's weak at this. He doesn't necessarily have that in his hero pool. Attack's Winston is bad.
Well, we'll see how he's improved in the past few months, because remember,
Yeah, it has been a while, but I mean, it was also a while between the last 2 times that I saw it, and I still didn't really like it.
Here's the reason why I'm okay saying Attack's Winston is bad. Is because the characters that are good in this meta,
Like,
he's
what's that
actually good at.
Oh wait, I want to see that one.
Choi is so good.
Poor irony.
Like, it feels like Choi's like is like disregarding whatever else is going on in this
And-
match. He's just doing his thing.
And this
Yeah.
is also the difference between 815 and Zero. Is like Zero will occasionally end up on the same page, but 815 like will constantly be on this. Like Choi says, "Hey, I have an opportunity," makes a pulse bomb play happen, and even if he doesn't, even if he whips the pulse bomb, Kellen's gonna be up there diving the backline with him.
Yeah,
right?
it's actually nice to see this because like in the last game versus ISOHAN, they did not have they looked super disjointed, right?
All right,
Whoa.
that's the
Attack dies with
primal.
primal, bro,
Attack died me.
brother.
I hate that.
And well, on the other hand, Kellen avoided death. Ooh, Sunjin, my boy.
Look, Sunjin mechanically has always been good.
Yeah, my complaints with Senjin
On
and
which
their
role?
mechanics. The thing is, his mechanics.
DPS.
Okay.
DPS. Please, nothing else.
Bro, he won NA contenders on DPS, then came back to Korea and played
Support.
tank/support.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a choice. And the sad thing about that season was that that team looked so much better when Sunjin finally did play DPS, and it just didn't matter because they had lost too much.
Honest Winston, there's nothing honest about what we're watching. There is nothing honest. These are some fraudulent Winston merchants.
Well, I would say merchant. I think Kellen.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kellen's okay. Kellen does not have a bad Winston.
Ooh.
Okay, nice. Been waiting for Knife to wake up a little bit. The other problem with this Zero roster is like Knife and Sunjin kind of have the exact same hero pool.
Yeah, Knife has like the Mei, and then Sunjin has like.
Sojourn.
The Doomfist.
Well, I was gonna say Genji, but like.
Not really though.
Yo, Knife's Genji's
Genji's- he's not-
great.
Yeah,
Like we haven't seen a lot of
Nice
Genji,
Genji
at
is
least
what-
in the
yeah.
Overwatch League level.
We haven't seen Knife's Genji in a while, but remember, like, the reason Knife got put on our radar was his Genji, because that's all O2 Blast would play him on.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because like it does. I mean, this is true for a lot of the teams in Flash Ops where like the DPS have the same hero pool.
Good
So
irony.
I'm not really gonna flame Zero for that, but
Sure.
That was a good name from Irony.
that's an even better
Ooh,
pulse bomb
great
from
sleep.
Choice
Choi.
One. So there's a thing. If there's a tank player, do not stick the. Or
Oh,
mobility.
knife! 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean he still trades for it. So this is a little interesting aside. If your Ana sleeps a target and you have pulse bomb and the target that's sleeping has either mobility or large HP pool,
You don't stick
and
it.
can escape, don't stick it because the 5 damage will wake them up. Whereas if you put beside them right? The 300 damage will still go off, but they will not wake up to avoid it.
Yep.
Especially since
Very
attack
true.
is primal.
Yeah.
We got nano there. Attack that nano at the end of his. Man, they really like doing that actually. They really like attack nanoing first, and then attack primaling first, and then the nano going.
I think it's just because they're like out of sync. Like the what's
Also,
the
I kind of like actually think that it's intended because they just want attack to live. Like they probably know that like Winston's not going to be attack's like best hero, and then they just want him to live so that he can get aggro enough, or maybe just like at least get the attention of some other DPS players. Because Knife and Sunjin are actually doing pretty well after attack. Like I just won't go far as to say that attack is doing a lot better on Winston than he's doing on other heroes. But like if you look at the team performance of
Yes, I
Zero
agree
right
with
now,
that.
they're
Sure.
actually doing a lot better. So maybe they
think-
just want teammate 1-5 to just throw resources at attack, and thinking that attack is going to be the weak link of this team, and then they just kind of like use everything to like keep him alive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I think interestingly enough, I also think there's some element of like the rest of Zero, the other 4 players of Zero, they know how to play like this 4-stack, like this comp in this 4-stack, whereas the tank is like sort of the odd one out, where they don't know how to play with the Sigma and they don't know how to play with the Doomfist. So like the Winston is the next best thing.
Well,
And,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter they lost this fight, so.
And that's going to be point B.
Should
That's
be.
also every ult that Zero had. This is gonna be a
Cool.
really rough snowball for the first half of third.
Oh, they go for the contest, but they're late.
So actually, take that back. That the first 2/3 of this final point are going to be a snowball because of the fact that this
Maybe
is
just
such a
the
delay.
first 3/3.
First 3/3.
Yeah. You know, I think on that 4th third they can maybe mount a comeback, but
I think this is just going to be a decay overclock, and it's going to end.
I mean, the bright side is that no matter what happens, this is either going to be a 0 win or they will get an extra chance on the attacking half because there's no way you capture it more than a minute.
Well, yep. Like physically impossible.
oh,
That was a
Then, no, that was just
was
a double body
nice
shot.
double
Yeah.
tap.
Please go. Like, okay, Primal does do nothing here. I actually want to see the Sigma back. Like, you don't have to rotate so far afield on this part of the map. The Sigma just ends up being, like, more effective. Oh, they're going to stagger all the way. They're going to
Bro.
full cap without ever having a true fight on third.
I was
Incredible.
about to say, it looks like 815 are about to cap with time.
Yeah, I thought, like, what I was trying to say was that probably attack should have just primaled, just died a little bit late, and then just go back to the Sigma. Like, stall the point, and then go back again, like, instantly swap to the Sigma.
But guys, what if I primal Blade next fight?
You're not him. He gets
He's
slapped.
going for
Yep,
it. He
yep.
gets slapped instantly. Oh, and he can't even get back. Oh, they capped with time.
Well, it's still less than a minute.
I mean,
so
not that 8 seconds actually matters, but you know.
it does. You get a cooldown for a blink.
Just true, fact.
Remember, we have so many
8 more
C9s.
seconds that attack might feed himself.
I'm still a little irritated because this is Attack's meta and he's playing Winston.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you can give excuses for Attack on Winston when like the meta is like hard Winston and he's the only tank like
Hey,
we've
Lawrence,
had to
hey,
in the past.
speculations. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Like, I've forgiven his Winston in the past because like he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, it was metas where it was like play Winston or lose.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, sure, there you have a reason. Here, there is no reason.
Well, at least
Never
he's playing the
often-
Doomfist right now. But no, I think I think the
I
only
actually
reason
wonder-
that they attack actually played Winston was the point that I pointed out. Like, just
Yeah,
keep
no.
him alive, and then
No, I think it's that and straight up just like actual like the comp coordination. That was I forget which one of you said either, right? But like you're used to playing the Winston with these DPS, you're not as used to playing the Doomfist. Not that it should be like
that's more of a-
different, but it's looked leagues different for Zero. Like
No.
attack on the Winston was like at least not so completely disconnected from the rest of the team that it looked like he was playing rank. Attack on the Doomfist has never been on the same page. I don't know what he's doing here either. There, he gets slept.
hey, he was tired, man. All right.
I don't know if you should take a
It
nap
makes
in
me
the middle
want.
of.
I guess the
Sounds
question then
great.
becomes like, how much time have they had to practice on this patch, right? Like on this meta.
I mean, it is
Because-
live server, right? It's not like
Yeah.
OPR or anything, so they probably
Well,
like.
Also,
but-
this
but-
meta's really not that different from the last 2 patches worth of metas.
But what I'm saying is like a lot of the contenders teams hadn't had a need to practice on this patch, right? Because contender season is over. World Cup was like only a couple of
They
teams.
don't touch, by the way.
Yeah, no. It's only a couple of teams, so like you haven't needed to really practice this in a
Oh,
pro setting.
Faith's down.
Wait, hold on. This is
Oh
winnable.
wait, knife with the attempted clutch.
So Knife is trying to do the pull a
This is
Vegas
winnable.
here.
Oh, attack missed his
Oh, one anti.
punch.
Special delivery.
So Knife, no offense to the Vegas Eternal, Knife tried to pull a Vegas Eternal and they just lost in a Vegas Eternal fashion.
Here's where I say no offense to the Vegas players. I don't think it's possible
Yeah,
to offend
true,
Vegas
true,
Eternal.
true.
I think
think
they're
the Vegas
very
Eternal
very
exists
familiar with
anymore.
how weak they were.
Also, that team doesn't. The management doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, but still. I loved a lot of people on the Eternal.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, yeah, no, I love the players.
this is the funny thing about esports, right? Is like
Mm-hmm.
roasting people gets hard because you're friends with a lot of them.
No, I will roast Kellen every time of the day.
But here's the difference. You know Kellen well enough that it's like past that point where you feel uncomfortable
it's-
to like it's flipped
It's
back
that
to like
awkward. It's that awkward gray zone of I know you well enough to be friendly to you, but not well enough to roast you, and for us to be 100% okay.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, DM me any stuff that you want me to throw at Kellen. I will do publicly and also very aggressively towards Kellen. Because, well,
Kellen is a handsome tank who excelled in certain metas, and it's a shame that he didn't have more luck.
I mean, of course,
It's really roasting though, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, also
You can't tell him now.
he's probably watching the stream.
Damn. That cannot be good for the ego.
Now he's gonna be like, "Oh, manager, why did you do that to me?" I was like, "Because it's you." He's gonna be like, "Oh no."
I will say, like, there's no one who roasted my my
Ooh, good
players
shot.
more than I did when I was their manager / coach.
Kellen isolated a little bit. Still has enough healing for him to survive. By the way, we have attack back on the Winston. I don't know how I feel about that. So it's gonna be like a perfect mirror.
Honestly, based on what we just saw from his Doomfist, I'm getting more and more okay with the Winston at this point. Just because it seems like he survives better with
A
it.
good nade by Develop, but Sunjun is not taken down. There was no follow-up damage. Kellen very low. Needs to go back to the safety of his support. Remember, this is the 8 seconds that we were promised. If this wasn't the 8 seconds, it would have been 7, 6, 5, and yes, I guess this is going to be the difference. Paul.
Huh?
8 seconds ago, this map's a draw.
Okay, well, but also if they had 8 less seconds, they would have made more of an effort to touch the boy.
True.
Also,
But-
I want to highlight, you know, because we haven't stopped roasting attack. Attack used jump to go from mid ground to high ground, and gave up so much space as a result.
Based.
He's just like me for real, but I'm in plat and he's a pro player. I'm also not in plat. That was a lie.
That's that series over, right?
Yes, yeah.
These
Yeah.
are still best of 3.
Also, I like going on the
that
internet and telling lies because I'm not
That's a
plat.
first to 2.
First,
And,
Yeah, first to 2, okay.
and from this map that we're gonna cover up and forward, it's gonna get spicy because it is now the knockouts. It is
First to 3.
8-1-5. Yes, and it's first to 3, and they're going against the Smurfs. So,
Ooh.
before we get into that match,
Smurfs was like Prophet, Bird Ring.
Yes.
yes,
Who's the support
Smurf.
line? Is it Violet?
is a
Violet.
Violet.
and is
Violet and Izzy. Okay.
So,
Yeah, I knew Smurf was on the Smurf.
continuing the tradition of the tank player becoming the name of the team in Korean Overwatch.
Then why isn't 815 Kellen?
The Kellens.
The Kellens. The Kellens.
I mean, I say
family.
tradition. It's happened like once before.
It's okay.
I think it was like Just Dreamers who
Yep.
did it.
I feel like there's one more, but I
There
cannot
has to have
remember
been
it off
one
the top of
more.
my head.
Yeah.
Man, it kind of slips.
I'm trying to remember, but it's going from my mind.
Yeah. Let's just talk about 815 right now before we go into the actual knockouts. How do you guys feel about 815 so far?
So my analysis when we started is the same as now. A team that when they're on like firing on all cylinders can actually be a real threat. But this meta does not favor them because they do not want to switch to Sigma at any point. This is very much the runaway thing, right? Where like they're doing well when they can force the dive or the dive mirror. And as soon as they run into a team that knows how to play Sigma even vaguely well, they're going to struggle. I mean, even look at that game versus Zero, right? The one round where Zero decided to play Sigma and like play it correctly, they stomped 815. So I'm concerned when they go up against a team that plays Sigma because in terms of like mechanics, they match nearly anyone currently playing, right? Like Decay and Choice A1, like you could put them up against nearly anybody, and I would say they're at least even or beating. And even when they're against the best in the world, they are still going to perform, right? So it really does feel like a meta compositional thing with this team.
Also, I think Develop is quickly making a case for himself as being cracked.
Yeah, I mean, at first we were like, if you have MCD on the roster, why not play him? MCD has a lot of experiences, a very aggressive, I guess, flex support. We've seen how good he is mechanically, like just like just kind of disconsidering everything that's outside the game. Like he is a very talented flex support player. I think, like you said, Paul, I think that's a good point, and Develop like making himself a case as like a very gifted, at least an Ana. Maybe because I think that kind of hits me right now because maybe one of the reasons that Team 815 is just kind of like sticking to the dive is maybe because they. I don't know. This is just I'm just
I
theory
will
crafting at
say
this point.
I will say Develop's Baptiste is also incredibly good.
And his Kiriko is actually pretty good too.
Okay, so
Yeah, he's like the thing about like a lot of flex DPS switching to flex support. Actually, although Develop was more of a hit scan now that I think about it. Anyway, the point is a lot of DPS switching over to flex support is they often get that Ana locked in, right? Or whoever happens to be the character that is meta at the time. So if you think like Teru, Kiriko, right? But Develop, I think and when he first made the switch, he did have that sort of element where he would go a little too far, a little too aggressive, playing the support like it was a DPS. But I think he's toned that back a lot. And now he's just straight up a good flex support.
Fair. Then my second, I think somewhat of a pattern that I've kind of recognized is that maybe they wanted to play around the ISOHAN Tracer because I haven't seen him play a
100%.
lot of other heroes other than the Tracer. Maybe like occasionally, but
I think in pro play we've seen Genji, Tracer, and Echo from Choice I1.
Yeah, I mean
we haven't
he was
really seen much else.
Yeah, I mean we have, like, but it's been proven that his Genji, his Echo is actually really, really decent. Like not just to a decent level, it's like really elite level. And we're not seeing these kind of other picks. Maybe that has to do something with the composition, maybe because if they're not playing the dive, if they're playing the Sigma, for example, it's gonna be really difficult or / awkward for Chisuan to play the Tracer.
Yeah, I think on those three picks though, right? Like Tracer, Genji, Echo, in the right team environment, I think there's a world where you could make the argument that Choi could contend for the best on each of those roles, or on each of those heroes, if he gets the right team around him, right? Like I think his Tracer is absolutely cracked. His Echo is insane. Like I would put him in easily in the top 3 Echoes, maybe 4 or 5 if I'm being generous. And his Genji is obviously nuts. So I think it's I mean, we've seen from like from like the Spark and Team China, right? It's better to be the best at something that's like 10% suboptimal technically than it is to be like mediocre at what should be the best comp.
That's still I mean, yes, I agree with that, but like especially like in Midtown specifically, if you can play the Sigma like if you're comfortable with playing the Echo, we've seen compositions where we can play we play the Sigma and then we have a Sojourn Echo, right?
Well, and yeah, I think that just comes down to sort of Kellen's tank pool more so, right? I mean, has Kellen played much Sigma?
Well, in 2021,
All I can remember
2022.
on Kellen this year is the Reinhardt and the Winston.
This year, yeah. This year he hasn't played a lot of Sigma.
Yeah.
Also, Sigma wasn't really
Sigma
in
wasn't
the
the meta
yeah, it wasn't the meta.
Until
During
That's
the Overwatch
true.
very
Until
end of the
playoffs
year.
when
Yeah.
New York were eliminated. That's fair. Yeah, I think it's probably a comfortability thing. I don't know if 815 will go all the way necessarily, but I think they look pretty decent from what we saw on the composition that they actually like to play.
I also would like to highlight. I mean, we obviously just watched qualifier matches. The qualifiers were not really an excellent test of relative power levels, right? Because like, I mean, Hamster was able to off-roll basically the entirety of their group stages, right? Whereas, you know, other teams have had to actually play in the group stages, like much more seriously. 815 is in a group where they had to play seriously, versus some of the other teams. So like, how strong are they really? I think we have to wait till like the knockout games, which obviously we're getting into now, to really get a sense of where they're going. You know.
Well, and you said their first team's the Smurfs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
One
I
of
mean, that's a good test if ever there was one.
Yep. This is
I mean, anyone who's been watching knockouts kind of knows the results of this game, but or like been keeping sort of up to date with.
I was gonna say, have
Flash Ops
knockouts
Korea.
had like a true broadcast? They have.
No. But there's been people have been following along
Sure,
on like
the
you know,
games
Twitter
go
and,
up
and
there,
whatever have you.
Wikipedia and stuff.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
all right.
I will also say, Smurfs, one of the few teams that you know are going to mirror you.
Yep.
fair.
I mean, we've seen the Smurfs like play a lot of this composition as well, right? Oh, good shot from Birdring. I think this is a good point to point out. Like, remember, we've talked about Decay not necessarily having to be the best hit scan in the world to make this comp happen, but we've been covering a lot of Smurfs matches in the previous streams as well. We've seen Birdring be a elite level Sojourn. So yes, like you don't like in this composition, you don't necessarily have to be the best Sojourn. But if you're getting first eliminator first in these before the fight even starts, that may prove to be a problem for a teammate 1-5.
Also, former teammates last year, Birdring and Decay.
Yep.
They were on the same DPS core.
Yeah, at the Uprising.
Also, I think, you know, I wasn't here for the Decay doesn't have to be the best hit scan in the world to make the comp work talk, but like the further you get into the bracket, the more you have to be the best hit scan in the world to make the comp work.
And
Like, you know, being acceptable is fine when you're in groups and you're playing, you know, XERO or whoever else.
oh, good punch.
Oh, nice work from Kellen. I don't know if you can get away with that from against everybody.
This is already now. Granted, more time in the real when this actually went through. There was more time between groups and knockouts than we obviously see.
Right? No, yeah, they didn't have 5 minutes.
Yeah, this already looks way more collected and way more cohesive than they did in group stages. Like they're actually playing as a proper setup. Like Faith has an angle on both develop and choice A1, an easy backup. They're playing that 2-3 setup. Actually, they're playing more of a 2-1-2. Or sorry, 2-2-1, in like this breakout, and it looks so clean.
Yeah, I agree.
Kellen is really on top of Birdring too.
Like, look
Wait,
how
Smurf is just
No,
Smurf's
that-
on an island
that's
there because
Kellen.
of Kellen's engage.
yeah, Kellen actually sets that up and locks Smurf out. That is a really good play by a tank there. So the engage from Smurf is fine. Like you go in, use your seismic slam or whatever it's called. To kind of space out, but Kellen, because he's been doing so much damage, knows that he has a free get out of jail free card, plays super aggressive, locks the rest of Smurfs in tight, and then escapes to get back. It's such a good play.
Ooh, anti.
Ooh,
Anti forces the early nano.
Who woke that up?
I think it was Faith probably. It might be Decay.
I want to see that one again.
Doom approaching.
Oh, it was
It's
Faith.
Faith. It's Faith.
Yeah.
But that was
'Cause
like.
you're already just swinging.
Probably cost him the fight though.
Unless Troy goes really hard here.
Well, even
Whoa!
if it costs you the fight, it's still gonna force
What
resources,
is
right?
Prophet doing all the way up there?
Yeah, that's a bad read for Prophet.
Wait, and they actually don't even have to fully reset.
Yeah, they never finished the flip. Not yet.
They're gonna flip here, but
But
they've
that
already.
was.
Yeah, rallies is
Who's got
expiring
nano there?
now.
Decay got nano after overclock.
Well, still made that kill happen, so probably worth. So their team 805 is using a lot of resources here. Oh, nice nade by Develop here. I think that's just gonna win them the fight, and this is gonna head into last fight territory.
This setup from 815 looks so much cleaner than it did in groups.
This looks really clean so far. I mean, that contest on point was nuts.
Yeah.
Like also boom. Another good anti. That's gonna end. The follow up is gonna be there by Choi.
This ends now.
I mean, now you have to just kind of brute force your way in, but you just, even though you lose faith, just hide.
I mean, even if the flip goes through here.
Oh wait, Kellen
Okay,
wants.
that's not good communication by 815.
Wait, Smurfs dead.
Yeah, but those
It's winnable.
both. It is
Oh, no, it's
winnable. No, it's a soft reset here. That was both the pulse bomb and the meteor strike trying to lock in Smurf. A little unnecessary, I think.
So in the end, both teams don't have ultimates yet. Maybe Decay will be having that overclock a little bit early, but it looks like if anything happens, it's going to be from either Sojourn on their railguns to make a difference, to make a pick, or they can just have a long enough kind of like fight for both teams to get ultimates. But like I said, Bird Ring made the difference over there, and it's going to be reset once again. Smurf investing the meteor strike to get Decay and Develop. So good use of the ultimate there, and it's gonna be a desperation touch for the side of Team 815.
Yeah, despite 815 controlling most of this round, it's actually Smurfs who are going to end up taking this point.
Can they even touch? No.
No, I don't think they can.
Oh,
No,
Troy
Tracer
can.
One actually does.
Troy
Tracer One
can.
does. I didn't see it was filtering around the outside there.
So this is this is actually a winnable fight for the side of 815. Bird Ring down.
Ooh.
Prophet trades Develop, but still Decay is making the things happen. Overtime is now in favor of Team 815. Violate down, Prophet down, not yet, but at a sliver of health. Now he is, and wow, this round could have gone either way, but in the end it was the Nano Sojourn, the Nano Decay that made the difference. He heard me saying that he needs to be the best hit scan in the world, and he is working towards that.
I mean, Choice A1 also continues to just be a menace. There was that long stagger fight where he and Kellen were juggling point duties, and that got them to 75%, right? And then
Yep.
obviously filtering around the periphery gets the touch in at the very end. Is this the debut of Kellen Sigma?
Ooh.
Well, in Flash Ops, I mean.
Yeah. I really like
Please stick on this character.
combination. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this comp's way better for this point too.
Is Tracy One a good May? I haven't seen a lot of May from him.
We
He's
haven't-
played some, but I don't have enough of a sample size to say good or not.
When was the last? I mean, he played a little bit in contenders,
been
but
a
I don't
while.
remember it that much. On Charge, I don't think he played it, right? 'Cause he was playing with.
Not this year, I don't think.
He was playing with Jimmy, so
Yeah, actually, you would probably have him on the May. Then Jimmy would have played the hit scan. I don't know. I don't think we've seen.
I don't think there was a
much
point where
May.
Charge were running a May comp this year.
Well, that's a good answer.
Maybe last year.
forces lamp. Now Kellen's in real problem. Yeah.
That's a good punch from Smurf.
And I mean, I think like that's a snowball from the anti-nade because
Yeah.
it pressured the entire support line just to fall back, and Kellen was just isolated at that point. He was in a safe position before that anti-nade. It was just that
Yeah, I mean one of the things that Sigma kind of has to do here is that you're kind of responsible to make sure that that anti doesn't come through, because that can win a fight on its own, right? But it's also so tough because you have to use the shield for yourself.
Yep, I agree. And especially on a map like this where there are so many like small corridors and narrow corridors, like the anti-nade could be really, really effective. Decay going to the
That
Cassidy.
is such a good kite. That is such a good kite onto the Nano Smurf.
Oh, and the Nano that is pretty much forced too because of Kellen. Not loving the Blizzard.
I think it was a good zone out, maybe, but
I
didn't
think
get
it
a
was
lot of
okay.
value.
The idea there is that you Blizzard to zone the other 4 members while like your team kills Smurf, but
Yeah.
Smurf has Nano, so he's really hard to kill.
Decay down.
Oh, that's a great wall though.
I feel like, despite watching this Discord feed, that we are out of sync. I don't know how, but
Wait, do you want me to reset the stream?
no, it just feels strange. I don't know. Maybe my internet.
Oh, he has that
like a
New
brain
York
issue.
spray. I feel nostalgia here. I really,
Man, this comp is just so good at locking down space.
yeah. I mean, I think this is a very acceptable level of Sigma gameplay.
Yeah, agreed. Man, we saw earlier Prophet try and pulse bomb K. Going for a pulse bomb on a Cassie now is objectively a wrong play.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that kill.
I mean, I think I want to elaborate on that a little bit. I think like usually Cassidy isn't like the best hero in the world, but like
I think also Samoa, specifically on this point here, it's so close quarters, and there's a lot of little areas that you can duck behind for cover, that like the weaknesses of Cassidy aren't exposed, right? Because his big thing is like his damage drop off is so high.
yeah, but
between
that's
his
like the same thing
survivability-
for that's like kind of like the same for Lijiang Control Center, right? But
Yes.
one of the things that I really think that this composite, like this pick, is really good is that he understands that all he has to do is to keep Prophet's like Tracer and maybe Smurf at bay.
I think also one of the things about this point compared to like even Control Center is that Control Center, there's not a lot of places to hide, whereas here there is actually surprising amount of cover on this map.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all just talking about Cassidy over a bird running 4K.
Yeah, he's nano. Did not hit a single
He
headshot.
just
He did not hit a single headshot.
Also, it's Bird Rain.
But
Also, like he is Bird Rain.
also he did it into the window.
Oh, he's taking a good nap. Oh, that was
That was so expensive. That
I
was
was gonna say that's a
so
little bit of an
expensive.
expensive fight. You used Blizzard and Gravitic Flux.
no, but,
You only
Dead
wanted
Eye.
one of those
on
to
the
start
on the Smurf side as well, they used the blade, they used nano, they used
Rally, yeah.
rally as well.
Oh, fair. And Prophet's actually just back to the not as good character now.
I mean, to be fair, there's not really a lot of mobile characters that are good into this comp, like just full stop.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, shift.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my god,
Oh, that's tough for Faith.
yeah. Trying to hit the counter pin against the Doomfist and doesn't quite get it off.
Well, that's gonna be a stagger for both sides. Well, I mean not both sides, for teammate.
They don't even touch.
Yeah,
They can't. So I have this feeling that like Team 815 is like kind of like ahead for the majority of the match, and then they lose a few bad fights.
Yeah.
They just kind of like give up a lot of percentage, like progress on the point, and end up like being very close, or even losing a round, despite it being like it feels like Team 815 is like immensely ahead in these kind of fights.
This is also, actually, this is something that continued from their group stages, because there was times where they just lose fights for, I don't want to say seemingly no reason, because there obviously is a reason, but like losing fights that are not expected to be lost.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And Kellen's back to the Doomfist. I like, yes, I understand that this specific submap, I don't know what it's called yet. I'm really bad with names.
Oh yeah, that's true. The only one I know is Beach.
The first one, right?
Yeah, the first one. Oh my god, this spam is coming back. No.
Again.
Ooh, nice shot.
I think you might have to, for the duration of the stream, turn your settings up in your chat for like a little bit more, a little bit stricter than usual.
Oh.
Like, or like, I think it's, what is it, anti-spam or something? I forgot what the setting's called.
I don't know.
It is me, the world famous streamer. I think the last time I streamed was a year ago.
Damn.
No, I think there was one earlier this year.
Oh yeah, it was in August, because that's when my basement flooded.
Ah!
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that. I remember that because we were doing Overwatch League Opens.
Yeah, it looked like I was because we also did contenders with this. It looks like I was broadcasting from a prison cell.
Oh yeah, I remember you just like, oh Kellen, you are not where you want to be, boy.
Sleep from Izayaki.
And not only that, I think he just dived into the wrong place.
Yeah, Kellen. Sometimes his.
I mean,
his
he was
shift
forced
button-
into it. Like he was kind of like punched
I was
into
gonna
it.
say,
But at the same time, just look at this. Like,
Oh, that's actually a really good corral from. Oh wait, no, he goes to try and punch a tracer. Never mind. I'm
Yeah.
trying to defend Kellen. That's a mistake.
yeah, he got himself into that.
First time chat. Mod me, I ban them. Smile. I definitely trust this person. I think this is a good idea.
At the end of the match, I'll probably mod you or Paul or both of you. Me, and I'll also probably do some stuff myself. I will probably have a mod next stream. Did I get so famous that I have like spam bots in my chat now?
Anytime a stream goes over like 100 viewers, it doesn't have auto mod, or like not auto mod, the trust level turned up, spam bots show up like immediately.
Damn.
oof.
Anyways,
Suck
well, we'll take care of that after this match.
Roll from Kellen.
Unstoppable.
Bird ring. Oh,
Threat neutralized.
Okay, so this is
Actually,
like
not
a
even
return.
the overclock. That was just the nano.
This is a return to the qualifier version of 815. Like this is so sloppy.
like, and that was after like 1.5 rounds.
Yeah. And like it's unforced sloppiness too. It's not like Smurfs are playing like magically better. You know what I mean? I think the Smurfs have been consistent in their.
I
their
also
gameplay.
think that I really don't know how I feel about the Stoofus composition from the side of 815. To be honest, if I'm 100% honest with you, like,
Oh, Smurf is bullying Kellen.
not a lot of line of sight LOS to make this actually happen.
Oh, this
Birdring has his own overclock. Gets a lot more value with it, and I think this is going to be mapped.
Yeah, that entire round was just Kellen getting the absolute piss beaten out of him by Smurf. Every time Kellen went in, Smurf was just like countering him.
Well, Kellen is here to touch, but will that be enough? Decay likely. Oh, Che likely to be the
there's
next
no
one to touch.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
Rally
going against
is
Rally. Like they have nothing.
It's cooked.
Develop stays
Oh wait,
alive
Smurf got slept.
and gets taken down. So this is actually a winnable fight as long as Develop and Faith. But Develop and Faith like is so occupied by Prophet that Kellen and Che is not going to have a lot of resources. But that's going to change if Prophet falls, and the entire team will be having those healing resources available. So it's a flip for the side of 815. They still have hope, and they have a lot of tools. They have the nano. They have the pulse bomb, and also they have the meteor strike coming up really soon. So and
weirdly greedy from Smurfs to
I
fight
was
like
gonna
that.
I was
Even
gonna
though
say
you have
Smurfs
rally, it's not like
specifically.
yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
really greedy.
Yeah.
Like he's been playing so well to counter Kellen this entire time, and then he just dives into the back line.
I think it was like kind of like I think the idea was here just to profit getting the backline occupied, and then the rest of the team just taking out teammate 151 by one, as like starting from Kellen. But like profit, it actually worked out the other way because Faith and Developed survived so long, and it like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, the Smurfs backline is getting completely bullied by Kellen, right? So there's not enough support, so Smurf dies. And Prophet can't really... There's not really a great rotation to go that deep against the enemy team as Tracer.
It's just kind of weird because like they have to touch. You have the support ult advantage. Let them come to you.
Okay, Decay was low.
Did nothing with the nano. He didn't even throw a punch. Okay,
He heard
Prophet
you.
is Prophet.
Well, Prophet's
Smurf
like
didn't hear me. Prophet is just Prophet.
that's probably gonna be map.
It took a lot longer to get there, but like this is the expected outcome on this particular map. Like realistically, we should never have had this fight in general. But you know.
Whoa, wait
Wait,
a
Smurf is
minute.
dead again.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Wait, Izzyaki and Violet
They're doing this again. They're doing this again.
Wait.
Oh
How?
my god.
This
Oh my god, they're throwing. Birdring, kill them all. Quick. He missed everything. He missed everything.
Oh wait, Kellen's down.
Okay, finally hit one. All right, surely you turn this fight here. Surely you just wait for Izzyaki and turn the fight. No anti for the sleep, develops dead. Okay, that's gotta be the Smurfs winning.
With Prophet coming back as well.
OT spawns too, like, you're done.
Man, this has been an accident in an Italian kitchen. Good lord.
Wait a minute.
No,
Yeah, I know. There's no way that it's gonna be.
Okay,
No,
okay. I saw that that pulse bomb hit Smurf and I got a little nervous, but no, it's too hard to keep the touch going when the wave.
Never mind. That's not an Italian kitchen. That's a goddamn pasta factory that just broke down. What the hell was that?
An underwater pasta factory just exploded.
My goodness. All right.
0 out of 10. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. Let's just go to map 2.
All right. Let me just
Good lord.
ban these kids.
Oh, that was some Overwatch.
That was.
You know how we were doing like the hamster commentary? I think that last round needed us to make fun of them because that was ugh.
That was something.
Look, I thought the Smurfs looked really good when they actually focused on a tangible game plan instead of just running at the. Anytime the Smurfs had rally, my heart sank because they just ran at the enemy team.
Yeah, that was
And
some
then
really
didn't kill
atrocious.
anything. And then rally expired and we're in the middle of the enemy team with our supports.
Yeah, that might have straight up been the worst rally usage I've seen this year.
This year, and it's been like what?
I mean, it's almost been the full
Almost
year.
been the full year.
We're going to
Yeah.
December 5 days from now.
Oh. Wait, LaFawn.
Give me like a minute. You guys can start the map though. I'm just gonna get some water real quick.
Oh, what's your Twitch name? I want to mod.
It should just be LaFon, like LAFON.
Do we have an H on the end of it?
Nope.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. We have 3 mods now, including me, so we can, yeah,
Nice.
we'll start the match.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Map 2 is gonna be Blizzard World. So loser pick. So this is 815's pick.
Right, that makes okay.
I think it makes sense in if they don't want to play Sigma, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna
They're
play
running
Midtown
Winston
if you're
now.
like like if it was Midtown, it would have been likely to be like a Sigma matchup again.
Midtown. Have the Smurfs played the Sigma comp?
Yes, I think a little bit, but not
Okay,
like that extensively.
I was gonna say I don't remember Smurf playing a ton of Sigma.
I think in the we have MCD in the fray.
Oh,
Let's-
MCD's in instead of develop, but he's playing the same hero.
Yeah, let's see how that changed things. I think maybe it's a positional thing. Maybe like MCD plays a little bit more aggressive. We've seen how MCD kind of like kind of be in aggressive positions and throw out aggressive nades as well. I mean, I'm not saying Develop didn't do that as well. Faith is in a kind of a pinch situation here, especially with Prophet following up, but wasn't enough damage.
Playing aggressive is fine until you play too aggressive. Right?
Exactly.
MCD is way back there right now, though. Dude.
No, he's trying to get a high ground, so.
No.
So, before, remember when Develop was playing this map against ISOHAN, Develop was positioning here. Sorry. He was
Sure,
in
was positioning on the low ground.
Yeah, he was positioning on low ground, and Kellen was at the same spot. And what happened is that Faith was also in the same spot, Decay was also in the same spot, Tracy Wan was also in the same spot. What happened was that they just and ISOHAN played Sigma, but they just completely just disregarded Kellen, and then they just dived onto the low ground, which is a lot easier to access. So I think they took a little, they took some notes, and then even though it took some time, got MCD into the high ground, which not only has better line of sight, but also is a little bit more difficult to access.
Yeah, this looks like a much better setup.
Ooh, good sleep.
Ooh, nice sleep from MCD. Good timing too.
Mm-hmm. So now MCD feels safe enough to play on low ground and advance a little bit.
Oh yeah, because you're chasing.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it might not be too much of a difference. I'm not saying the difference between MCD and MDFL, but just like the little positioning difference here from the Ana is making like a meaningful difference here. And also this time, Faith actually kind of cares for his Ana surviving.
MCD missed his second sleep though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But Smurf invests the primal as well, so Faith is gonna get down, and Kellen's gonna be the only one alive.
He gets juggled off the map. That was a really nice bubble timing there from Smurf. He blocked not only the sleep dart but also the whip shot from Faith, because they're both playing in the same place.
Objective lost. Stop the crowd.
Good play from the Smurfs. I don't necessarily think this is like a mistake from 815. This is more just like a good play.
Has Smurf been, at this point now, the tank that has been at the top the longest?
I would say, by like maybe Fearless.
Yeah, I think Fearless is probably the other, and Gushue as well. Actually, now that I think about it.
No, I wouldn't like no disrespect to Gushue, but
Smurf's been longer though, because Fearless had to go back to contenders
Yeah.
in the
Smurf's
season.
in, like,
Smurf was winning the Overwatch League.
Yeah, because like season 2, Smurf has been the most consistent, right?
And Gushue entered the Overwatch League in season
2.
and also
it two?
like his
Yeah,
He played with Sparks his entire career.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Like in the Overwatch League.
right. Yeah.
and also no
But
disrespect to
he wasn't
Gushue, like
wasn't
he was
considered the top.
yeah,
in
and also the
season two.
Spark wasn't like never had a lot of like accolades until the very last season.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good, but like not like at the elite top
Yes,
level,
yes.
right?
Oh, team names are backwards, by the way, on the
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
all good.
We call this, right? Keeping the audience on their toes. Make sure they're paying attention. Are you awake?
Yeah, you guys gotta know what you're talking about. Twitch chat.
Remember, we make no mistakes. It's all calculated.
I don't know about that.
Or something.
So Bird Ring.
I'm just getting free cart progress.
This also, I will also highlight, by the way, this is probably the best dive v dive we've seen so far in Flash Ops.
Now.
Like these are both teams actually understanding how the comp like runs properly.
Oh, MCD missed him this week. Yeah, he's dead again.
Cooling down.
I mean, like,
Okay, Prophet's like, dude, this dude, just kill him.
like, elaborating on your point, LaFine, like, oh, good sleep. Like, both teams, like you said, have very good understanding on dive composition, but it's also, like, if you look at how, like, Korean teams and players have been playing, like, yes, there's been meta changes, and also, like, kind of, like, here and there every year, but the composition, if you just, like, single out one composition, a lot of the Korean players just, like, prefer, like, historically, even from the Apex, like, days, it's just dive, and, like, it's just, like, and these players are at the pinnacle, like, some of these names are, like, the highest profile players you can ever find in Overwatch history, right? So, like...
Yeah. I think that's actually a really interesting point, because, like, the two regions that have, like, a genuine identity in terms of what they like running is that Korea likes dive, right? And Europe likes rush. North America has not historically had a professional meta that it prefers running over everything. Part of that, of course, is because so many of the Korean players played here for so long. But
North America also gets players from both regions and
Yes.
plays against players from both regions more often, right?
but if you're to ask like the average like if you were to see the average North American setup, I don't think you would have a favored composition to the same extent that you do in Europe and Asia, or in Korea specifically.
I would argue a little bit more like a variant of the
Yes.
Brawl. Like, remember when Atlanta Reign had, like, because inevitably the compositions run around the tanks, right? Oh, good shot. And like, when Gator and Hawk was around, they had the maybe double shields, maybe Orisa
Maybe.
Sigma,
I mean, I will say
Orisa Rhine.
North America invented goats.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shout out to that goats team.
Railgun charged.
Wait, wasn't Goats a European team?
No, they were like
No, it was a North,
NA
it was a
Open
North
Division
American
team.
Open Div team. Yeah. Who walked into like an amateur plus academy like tier 2 team tournament and just wiped the floor with everybody.
So, you guys were the Blight.
Hey, I still stand by it. Goats is the best thing that happened to this game. In terms of like increasing the skill level across the board.
I agree, and it's also really fun to play, but at the same time...
It did last too long, yeah.
Yes.
Initiating match.
I think
Yeah.
even Goats apologists agree that it stayed for too long.
I mean, even if
Crazy to
like,
think
even if
that,
it was another meta, like if it just stays like the same for, if it's like the only counterplay, if the only counterplay to a certain meta is to just mirror it, then and it goes too long, even if it was any meta, that it would have been bad. Like
You're
double
right,
shields too, right?
Well, even dive, right? Remember when it was like Apex and like everyone was running GT dive with just Ana Zen? No, sorry, Zen Lucio backline.
It was on a Zen. Yeah, it was on a Zen.
And Ana Zen as well. Like people got bored of that too, even though it's a super fun composition to watch, right? Anything that lasts for too long will get stale.
Crazy to think that one of the I don't think he was like original members of Goats, but like one of the very, very early members of Goats has now won Valorant Champions.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, because he was wasn't he
Ustu was
the-
on that team.
Yeah,
he was
wasn't he
he
on the
was-
XQC version of that team though?
I think he was before XQC and a little bit after XQC. He was on it was a very early, it wasn't like the original iteration, but it was a very early iteration.
A lot of very famous players went through that team.
That's true. That's true.
Pretty sure Kaluch was on it at one point.
He was another one of the really early players.
Yeah.
Smurf taken down.
Also, Reiner was on that team at one point, but I believe as a DPS back then,
I didn't remember that.
because he had a different name at the time.
Wait, did Smurf have a jump cooldown when he fell when he was taken out? I probably think so. He probably should have.
have.
Well, that was a pretty quick cap by the side.
I mean, that's the power of a pickoff, right? Decay comes in with a headshot on the rail and snowballs from there.
And then the struggle for high ground. Birdring taking down once
Oh my
again.
goodness.
So the siege tank high ground and the pylon high ground is going to be taken entirely controlled by Team 815, while Faith is just like given to play, I guess, racing games in a very slow pace.
Decay is one of the more momentum-based players, I think. Whereas,
Ooh.
like, once he starts feeling it, he really starts feeling it, you know?
Oh,
Smurf is, like, 4 HP, I think.
13.
13. Oh, I was close.
No, but like I think this is gonna make a big difference because like it was basically the same setup. Like Kellen jumped
Yes.
in, Smurfs jumped in, they got slept, they got antied, and they just try to get focused, and Kellen just got bursted down.
Oh, never mind. Choice of one chases it down. That's actually a big. That's actually a big reset.
That's what Choice should do.
But the reason why that's a big reset is now you don't get high ground control for free as the defense.
And it's gonna
And Prophet's recall's forced. He's out of the fight.
yeah, but Kellen.
Nice whip shot.
Yeah, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. It didn't end up mattering, but I think that was a really good point because if
Actually, I think it does matter, and the reason why it does matter, right, is because you're forced to take a much more aggressive position as the break. You're forced to expend your cooldowns more actively, and then the second reset with the nano jump comes in uncontested.
Okay, that's fair. I was about to say that because over here, Kellen kind of got whipped off from the jump. They had to wait for more resources to get access to the high ground. But in the end, they only had to use the nano. So that's like I think that's a fair point. That it did matter.
And Troy had good control over the other side of the map too, so his access to the high ground was really easy.
Oh,
Especially since Prophet had no recall, and now Prophet's just dead. This is a huge time bank. Holy moly!
Yeah, I mean, there's literally not been a defense yet.
on either side, mind you.
Well, no, I mean, legitimately, they haven't won a fight on the defense yet as the Smurfs.
Ah.
Like, the only way to get a time bank this high is by winning every fight on your way through. And there's been, what? Well, the first fight didn't really happen, and there's been 2 fights on second, both of which were won easily by 815.
Ooh, I don't love this primal from Smurf.
I think he just wanted to take down MCD.
But they're I don't know, man. The Smurfs are pushing so far forward right now. I mean, I guess
you
it
need
works
to take
because
time.
the case slides the wrong way.
But the
Violet is trying to duel. This is a bad duel by Violet.
Yeah, his whole team's dead now.
Yeah. This is one of those ego plays that you should never take as a brig. Because Choice A1 is not in the fight, right? So by Choice A1 being not in the fight and taking the brig out of the fight, he's done his job. I think there you sacrifice some cart progress to straight up to win the engagement and then come back for a reset. But
Yeah, exactly.
instead, you just trade your life for nothing.
yeah, I mean, like you said, like Chisoan baiting out the brig is really kind of like a Tracer win in all ways because even if you want to come back to the fight, Tracer will be back before the brig.
Yeah.
Good nano to keep Kellen alive.
Great bubble. Great bubble from Kellen.
I mean, that's it. That's the full cap. There's no way to reset.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I mean the Smurfs never want to fight on defense. I just really can't fathom how far forward. It's one thing to take an aggressive fight to stall time. It's another thing to go out to where the second point was capped on third Blizzard World and try to fight there.
Score.
That is a wild
fathom
time
that.
bank.
Side.
That is a wild time bank on Blizzard World.
and mind you, Blizzard World is not an easy map to just cap in general. Full cap
Yeah.
in general.
It's such a long map.
And I mean, this just kind of shows that, I guess.
Like,
go ahead.
so I think okay. So the first point, whatever, right? That's just a big pickup by Decay. He finds a headshot onto Birdring. That happens. You know, you could lose the first point off it. That's fine. The second point, the first fight ends up being another play where Decay finds the headshot. You know, sometimes a player's feeling it and you just get got, right? Then it's a good staging play by, again, Choi Se-won chases down Smurf. They retain control of the map. So again, it's just a good execution by 815, and I don't think the Smurfs necessarily did anything exorbitantly wrong. I think they should have played it better, but I don't think their setup as described was necessarily the worst thing in the world. That third point was horrendous. They threw 2 fights in a row that they shouldn't have taken, right? It's not even that they threw a fight that they should have taken. They just shouldn't have taken those fights, and it ends up costing them a time bank of 346. So, like, even forgiving the first 2 points, this has just been a bad performance from the Smurfs, and 815 has taken advantage.
Yep, and I was about to say that definitely Kellen and Team 815 looks a lot more comfortable when they're playing the Winston composition. Like, even though if it's the same dive, it's like, it looks like a totally different setup for some reason. Maybe because of comfort reasons, or maybe, and also, Team 815 looks, like, I think, I would be as bold to say that they're hit or miss right now. Like, their highs are really high.
Far forward.
Let's find out. Oops.
Oh, I actually think I think this is not really his fault. This is just playing. Decay takes the off angle and is just If anything, Smurf is playing way too passively here. Like, Smurf is offering no threat to the DPS.
Yeah.
60 seconds remaining.
And it's not that he's like diving in with profit as well.
Yeah, it's just a weirdly passive setup from Smurf for no reason.
Oh, now Smurf's dead. Oh, maybe not.
Violet.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he's
I
dead.
thought the answer
Violet
was-
should be dead. Even escaping, like, it doesn't actually give you much.
That's like, I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, you've used your sleep cooldown too.
It should be back now, I think.
I think now, yeah.
Smurf. Anti.
Wait, did MCD hit that anti midair?
No, it was the anti was on the ground. Yeah. No, this anti is just a default set, and then he as he's jumping. He just,
Yeah, but Smurf Smurf jumps into it.
Decay still low. Profit down. This looks like a downhill fight for the
Oh,
side of the Smurfs.
No, the Smurfs have
is
no
down.
momentum on the back line. Yeah.
And I'm kind of like noticing kind of like a discord between Smurf and Profit right now, because
Yeah.
they are jumping at different targets. Like, there are multiple times when Profit's like trying to threaten the back line, and Smurf's not there.
Ooh, I thought that was a stick for a second. Oh, it doesn't even matter because there's no supports.
This ends now.
Profit trying for dear life.
Nah, it's
Try
done.
to. I mean, they can touch, but
Yeah,
it's
late
not gonna-
rally.
Yeah, but it's just
overclock,
ult
primal.
overwhelming.
Yeah. That is such a weird setup by the Smurfs.
Score.
So it feels like half the team thinks they're being aggressive and half the team thinks they're passive, and it just ends up being nothing.
Initiating match.
I don't know how I feel about today's matches, to be honest. Like, like sometimes, like I'm not trying to like kind of play down these teams, but it's just like I see different iterations of both teams every round or every match.
Ready for battle.
No, I'm okay being critical of these players because like we know how good they are, right? Like they've proven how good they are. I mean, championships, consistently great performances, carry performances, even against the best in the world. Just a really odd.
Yeah, they're both hot and cold. Like,
I will also say part of that is this is a very short tournament. That even though like the teams are taking it seriously, is not like it's not a world championship. You know what I mean? So like the stakes aren't.
Yeah.
They're not like world ending.
they're not sacrificing like their leisure,
Exactly.
like life balance
Yes.
because of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
So
I think is a good thing.
yeah, I would, that would probably be a bad investment But I think like so you're seeing some level of rust, but I also even still like.
Ooh.
They still pop. I mean, Birdwing is fine choice they want.
I was gonna say Birdwing's not rusty.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with Birdwing's performances, even like in the qualifiers,
Yeah.
and also in the early maps too. Like, remember Samoa when he was like, you know, he made Decay look like a just okay DPS.
How do you ever defend 3 minutes here, though?
Yeah.
For a stick?
I mean, perfection. You have to be perfect. It's literally.
I
half,
don't know
like,
where Smurf is going there.
That's such a that's
MCD
a bad bubble, and now Smurf is dead.
It's a bad bubble. It's a bad position.
Smurf is not.
Now you lose
dead
high
for
ground.
some reason.
Maybe you don't lose high ground.
Okay, Prophet decided to win.
Prophet and Birdwing just walked on the back line.
I mean, Prophet is still him, right?
Prophet and Birdwing are still them.
So what I've been realizing about this fight, one thing I want to point out is that Smurf, like, obviously he had to go back, but like also this is like some kind of a pattern that I've been seeing.
I think this is the first time where Smurf has dived back that I'm okay with it. Because keeping Smurf is the best one to keep the contest going against this like DPS plus Winston, right? You can hold space here. Plus, in a support versus DPS duel in a 2v2, this backline with all their cooldowns expended should lose.
Yeah, and also what I wanted to point out is that, like, remember, I've mentioned Prophet kind of like not being in sync with Smurf. I think what he did in comms is that, hey, Birdwing, I want you to dive with me. I like, like, you know, I'm changing my dive partner. Like,
yeah, I think that's the right call to make.
Smurf needs to be on point too, and he also needs to be. I think it's actually good for Smurf to go back. A, he clears the high ground. Decay doesn't get the high ground on Izayaki and Violet now, and B, he actually contests.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good instance.
Yeah,
from Smurf.
100%. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's literally perfect timing. And then Choice I1 and Smurf, or Choice I1 and Kellen rather, try and escape, but you know you're not escaping here.
I think even Choi kind of like wanted to do that C9 shenanigan here because they were so close to that one tick.
It was really close.
I think once you sacrifice your backline, just commit to the frontline duel. I don't know. The fight's chalked. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's over. Prophet going for a stick here.
Goes wide. Cost him his life.
Oh no, that's it.
Oh,
wait.
Birdwing says, "Hold your horses." Ooh.
Oh no, that's it.
Oh, Violet getting caught there is tough. Birdwing has to pop with this ult. Nano overclock.
Both Nano overclocks and Decay wins this one. And Smurf, yes, he does have the primal and he's going to bully MCD around, but it's only just going to be one tick, and Prophet is the only one to potentially touch. Two people on the point. Smurf going back to the point, but has to go back to get healed. And Prophet, Violet are the ones that are going to contest the point. It looks like Faith, with that rally on, is going to have enough of everything to make this happen, and they will. And that is going to be the series tied 1-1 for Team 815 and Smurfs.
Did you guys see the whip shot from Faith to deny Birdwing his angle on the overclock? So he actually misses the first shot on Decay.
Let's actually find out.
It also obviously weakens him enough that a body shot
like
from the nano overclock is.
Do I have to go back a little bit more?
Yeah, it was at like it was like right as they get to the point, right when a little before that.
A little bit more, like
one more.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, here works. I'm pretty sure Faith hits a whip shot here.
Oh!
Yeah.
And he misses the shot on MCD because of it.
He does.
See? That's clutch from Faith.
And because Decay comes up on the head glitch with that jump, there's never an angle for him to take the body shot at. For Birdwing to take the body shot at. That's a perfect play.
Yeah, Faith. Damn. I mean, I think Faith is like one of the most like not the most, but one of the most like underappreciated players, support players.
I mean,
Faith is just really consistent on the brig. I cannot remember a time on the brig where I looked at Faith and I went, "What are you doing?" But that play also might be one of the first times I've looked at Faith on the brig and I've gone, "Oh my god, look at that play."
Ready for battle.
man,
like-
it's funny because the Faiths, like,
Go ahead. Did I lose you guys? Hello.
5, 4,
It looks like I did lose you guys. Connecting. Let me come back. Sorry guys, I'm having some technical difficulties with Discord right now. Just a second, please. The stream looks okay. I'm not dropping frames. So it's not my internet. Huh. Very weird. Did Discord just die? Just a second, please. I'm sorry, chat, for the inconvenience. Okay. Hopefully this works out. Alright. Do I have everyone? LaFawn, can you hear me?
say again?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I think because I hosted the Discord call, it was hosted by me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably part of it.
Okay. Did you miss the runaway matches? You did, but they're on my YouTube. Let me get a link to my YouTube.
I'm back. And I got a cookie.
Ooh,
Nice. What kind?
Oh, my mouth full.
Okay, so we're back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you all for the support. Well, we're back in Survasa this time. Kellen back on the Doomfist. I don't know how I feel about this. I think if you just calculate their win rates, like this team has enjoyed a lot more success when they were playing dive on the Winston.
Okay, so since you asked, LaFawn, it's like a chocolate chip cookie, but also has white chocolate chips and has like a little chocolate drizzle with sprinkles on top of it. It's really good. My mom made it.
Nice. Alright, not a lot of key changes from comps on either side. MCD Faith way back here. Kellen on a position where he can dive on contest the point. Remember, Smurfs is playing the Winston Winston Albertring got just blasted into oblivion.
There you go, kind of rolled there. Actually, I actually don't think the Winston is super viable on Survasa in comparison to
I was
Doomfist.
gonna say, I actually, especially here on Market, I like the Doomfist a lot better than the Winston because you can control high ground way easier. Your staging is like more natural.
Mm-hmm. And because the Doomfist is quicker just on like damage procs, right?
Yeah.
And Flashpoint is just such a quick game mode. Like your Doomfist is going to be much more usable than your Winston.
And remember, this is Flashpoint, and like not just this point, but moving around points is going to be really, really important. And like being a mobile comp, like I think just like having a doofus makes your composition as a whole a lot more mobile. And like because I'm not 100% sure about how much like faster the cooldowns come down, but oh, what a sleep by MCD here, and Prophet just got. Well, I mean, Decay got traded for that, but what a sleep. Coming back to the point, I think that like your cooldowns just come back just a lot quicker, and like using your cooldowns for the sake of moving around is not going to cost you as much as the Winston composition.
Wait, MCD's kind of cooking here though. Like, we were on his POV so long, and I didn't see anything I didn't like.
Oh, good sleep once again.
Oh, and another good sleep.
Oh, wait, MCD, did you just walk into that pulse bomb?
I think he tries to leap over it, but messes it up.
Okay.
I don't really think
Yeah, it's like, he's low.
It's
He's just on the outside of that.
I think even for a stream of this caliber, the jokes that I want to make are not
Yeah. Yeah. Unlucky.
So 99.55, 62 accounting. Bird Ring will be approaching the overclock, so that is a tool that the Smurfs is definitely wanting to make. Use like to zone out the entirety of Team 815 until they cap the point. Oh, Decay taken down. So this is going to be an uphill fight for the side of 815.
This has been a continuation of 815, by the way. Like, they'll control the majority of the map, and then in, like, the penultimate fight where they need to close out, they just, like, fumble.
Yeah. This is a thing that they definitely need to work on if they want to get... I mean, like, we all know... Like, I'm just going to kind of, like, spoil it out here if they want to survive in the rest of the tournament. And again, I don't know how, like, I understand that both teams have very good Tracer players, but I don't know how I think about Tracer, especially in this meta.
Been a little quiet the last couple maps too.
Wait, who has? Sorry, Tracer 1 you said?
Tracer 1, he's been a little quiet. Decay's really been picking it up though.
I mean, the other thing too is, like, you're carrying this comp is the Sojourn. Right? Like, I think the Tracer is, like, more for, like, controlling space / marking, and I think Tracer 1's been doing a phenomenal job of that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Also, you're playing Tracer against the literal GOAT of Overwatch, so, like, you know.
And really, actually, aside from that one fight that Prophet and Birdring, like, took over on Midtown, Prophet hasn't been that explosive either.
He's really had explosive moments, but sort of far between.
This combo is so
Decay.
This combo is
there.
so stupid.
The nano overclock. Yeah.
Nano overclock.
I forever said when Sojourn first released and they were like changing Sojourn to try and get... The problem with Sojourn was not the one-shot headshot. The problem with Sojourn for me was just the relentless body shots. I think that, like, having to hit a headshot, I think is fine, right? But, like, being able to deal 130 on a body shot and even more with Nano, I've always felt that was the problem with Sojourn.
I mean, the problem at launch for her with the headshot is that she's able to keep rail up indefinitely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So you walk around a corner and you're almost all, like, you're dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Charge can also be a problem. Right now, I don't think the charge is a huge issue.
Like, before the changes, it was like the same charge that you get from shields, then you just hit people, right? So I think that was really one of the problems, because there's no way to counterplay it. You can basically just shoot at anything and get like 100 charge immediately.
Yeah, that too. That was a good change. Dealing the normalization of charge generation, where on Flesh it's like consistent and shields don't charge as much.
No, that's what I'm saying, Epsilon. Headshot was fine.
Okay, this needs to be the fight that 815 needs to win if they want to clutch out. Remember, they were so good until the very last fight.
Okay.
They were at a good start. Do they want to invest more ultimates? I don't think they do because the Smurfs just back out.
They need to get these closeout kills.
Yeah, that's stagger. So
Yeah,
first
nice.
point, first cap on the next point should be in 815's favor as well. Oh, by the way, we already did show Runaway in versus O2 High School. We have it on our VOD. That's pinned on my YouTube channel.
Everyone on me.
Oh, who won that?
O2. O2 High School can play the Sigma comp really, really, really well.
Are O2 High School looking more like O2 than the San Francisco
Yes.
Shock? Okay,
Yes.
thank God.
Well, to be fair,
on
they look more like the San Francisco Shock than the San Francisco Shock.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, fair,
like,
fair.
to kind of like forgive San Francisco Shock, a bunch of very young people in a country struggling.
Sure.
There's a lot of extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
And once you're in a losing pattern, sometimes it's hard to break yourself out of it.
Yep. I've experienced that with the Excelsior.
Like, and the thing is, like, even if you're excellent in scrims, you know, like you can like pop off in scrims and then you go to game day and it just isn't there. Like, you wake up in the morning and your toast is cold in the middle. You know, like it just weird things like knock you out. It's being competitive is like half skill and half luck.
I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't give luck that much credit, but
Sure, not half, but like I mean, just like
ooh, MCD
when
just
you're
saved
losing-
himself.
yeah, just like weird things happen.
The thing I didn't like about the Shock this year was that just compositionally, nothing they did made sense for so long.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that has to do with confident issues too, right? It has to be.
yes,
Like we do not deny that, like the San Francisco Shock had good players, like, but if you just look at the decisions that made, I'm not even blaming the decision making. Like for example, like why have Max and Junban play the same hero pool when they're different
roles. They literally played each other's roles.
Yeah.
That was mind-boggling to me. Also, like the weird stuff that was going on, in, like the support compositions. It was.
I think
bizarre.
the thing is, it's easy from us on the outside to say this, that, and the other. The truth is, we'll never know.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless the players or the managers
that-
like come out and say, "Here's what happened," we will never know.
No, I actually wanted to point out that like it's not even like I understand that decision, especially if that comes from a confidence like background, right? Like even though if Max and Junpan might have been like like on some days Max just like wasn't even confident enough to play on stage, or I mean who knows, but there might have been those kind of circumstances that kind of forced into those kind of decisions, and I'm not ready to kind of like I guess throw shade at the San Francisco Shock because of the decision, because anything could have happened to make them forced into those kind of circumstances.
Yep. I'll throw shade. They were running Moira for way too long.
Also, I'd like to highlight, by the way, that Smurfs went to Doomfist, and now 815 are on Winston.
Yeah, what world are we living in right now?
Look,
Map
the
score
Winston
is
died.
currently 2-1 for 815 over Smurfs. Smurfs won Samoa,
look,
and then
look.
Midtown and
The
Blizzard World
Smurfs
War
went to
I
the
playing
Doomfist comp and started winning when when 815 went to the Winston comp. It's almost like what we were talking about on this map. Made sense. Although I don't know where Smurf. Okay, I mean if you're gonna kill one, sure.
He was Nano.
Oh, is he a nano? Okay, yeah, never mind.
It's Nano plus Tracer. You're gonna roll over whoever's in the backline here.
So this is gonna be up all the way to down to the wire for some Servasa here. Ooh.
Which point are we going to last? Ruins. I think it's. No, is this Ruins?
No, Ruins was the one we went to.
Ruins was just the one we were just at.
No, the one we were just at was well, it was not Ruins. 'Cause Ruins is the one that's out by the coast.
Is this Gardens? I don't know.
No, Gardens is the one we.
Oh
were just
yeah. No. Garden was 2 points ago.
at. I think this is Ruins.
Suravasa, unlike New Jug City, all the points make sense.
Because Palace is where we went first. Then we went to Gardens. Then Ruins. No, wait. No, shit. What was the one we were at before? Was that Ruins? I don't fucking remember.
outside of Market, Suravasa's points are all too similar for their names. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right.
You can convince me that any of the other 4 points are named.
Okay. This is Ruins. Where we just were was Temple.
Right. Okay. I mean, it also doesn't help that like they're playing in like halfway across the map from where they should be.
Exactly.
This ends now.
What is this? What is this fucking?
Well, Decay heard that I'm.
This is found on Google. Look at
What? What's happening?
Look at this map. I just found it. I put it in the group chat. I don't know if you can show that on stream, but man, I don't know why that map makes me laugh.
That's funny. Well, oh.
Wow, that was a Hail Mary pulse bomb.
Is it this one's Temple? I don't know, man. Maybe this one's Temple and the other one was Ruins.
It's okay. It doesn't matter because it's 99-0 and the
Look, the
Smurfs
point
are gonna
is,
take down.
The Smurfs got Smurf.
Yes. Prophet, despite his best efforts, will probably touch, but not win today.
All right, Smurfs lose their first knockout match.
And like, yes.
Wait, are they still first to
this
2?
is first 3?
No, first to 3.
But
This is map.
Smurfs win a map?
Yes, it's not over.
Yeah, LaFawn,
Wait,
it's
there's
not
one more.
over.
There's one more. There's one more. That's right.
You
Forgot we had
goober.
pushing this one. My bad. I can't count.
We have Esperanza.
Here we go.
Ready for battle.
So this is loser's pick. So it's going to be the Smurfs pick.
Our map. We only have 2 maps in push.
Yes,
in this tier pool.
new Junk City. Well, sorry.
New Queen Street.
New
and,
Queen Street
Street's
and
out?
no, New
Oh,
Queen
no.
Street
Ho-
and
Joseo's
Esperanza.
out.
Alceo's out. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
One.
I don't like that one anyways.
Objective unlocks.
Really? You don't like Rome?
Correct.
I think the aesthetic is beautiful as of
No, I
with
think it's
all the
hideous.
maps in Overwatch. I think that hallway is awful. I hate it.
You know, okay. I will say this: the only map I actually dislike, in terms of like aesthetics, and it has made me dislike the actual place in like the real world, is Paris.
Really? I like the
That map is so bad, it made me dislike the actual location in the real world.
Damn. So both chasers trying to take, fight for control on the point. A little bit more pressure on the side of Team 815. So early push contention is on the side of 815. Birdring is down, so this means they have a lot more pick potential on the side of 815. Kellen down. No, Kellen not down yet. I'm sorry. Excuse me. He was almost down. Credit to 815's support line for keeping him up. It looked like he was going to just die, just like that.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was chugged.
yeah.
Decay has turned one on. Like, look at the difference.
Yeah, he
in
really
Ultra
has.
and Birdring. And I mean, Choice they won versus Prophet too. Like, I mean, obviously, yeah, first fight they win, they're obviously gonna have higher ult charge, but it's the percentage ult charge versus their opponent that's the big deal here. And they were like extremely instrumental in that fight.
Okay, Chisuan
Immediately has to recall too.
yeah, forces out the recall, so that's gonna be that's gonna maybe make a difference here. Prophet can't do. Oh!
Oh.
No.
Wait,
We
let's
gotta see
recall that from his
one.
POV. Yeah. I was gonna say.
we gotta see that one.
Oh, he's sleeping. Okay, never mind.
Wait, but how does Prophet die to this?
I gotta
He
see
blinks
that
into
one
it.
again.
Prophet blinks into it, I'm pretty sure.
They're pushing ahead. Take them out.
He doesn't.
Fall into it?
Yeah, he doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, poor. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I mean, he kind of walks toward it.
Oh, I mean, we were watching at 0.25. What happens
We were
in real
watching
time?
at 0.5, but like.
I think it was a combination
Not the end of the
of
world.
Chisuan being Chisuan, Prophet kind of walking through it and realizing a little bit too late, and then also Smurf waking up in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's not the end of the. It's not like
Look, it
Prophet's
takes-
suddenly not the GOAT because of it.
Yeah.
And you thought you woke up at the wrong side of the bed. Am I right, gamers?
Get out. Get out.
But it is true that ISOHAN is actually winning. Is like, you know, at least being like having the advantageous spot, upper hand on the Chaser duel against Prophet, at least in this map.
Prophet's playing really passively on marking him too.
I mean, I think part of it is that because Decay, that is it.
Whoa, Prophet just
Okay,
tried
you're-
to stick him.
You're not Zest. You are not Zest, Prophet.
And then meanwhile, Decay is just farming everyone with nano overclocks. Very cool combination of ults.
I mean, in fairness, it was 3 headshots, so
Yes.
you know.
Was it? Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. We're fine with that.
But despite all the chaos, we are having.
Is this gonna be a full cap?
7 minutes.
I mean, if oh,
Yeah, it's Burger
Gonna be a full
Sorry.
cap.
Decay is on one right now. Like this is
Smurf is also. This is a forced primal rage. It's,
primal. Yeah.
It's not
And
easy.
he's not gonna
It
survive.
doesn't do anything. I mean,
just-
Oh, he just used it to survive. He just used it to survive. And if Violet falls here, it actually.
antied. He rallies well antied.
No, I think.
And Warwing's using the overclock in a 1v5. Okay, the Smurfs are falling apart.
What did Faith? What's Faith doing there?
Bro, Faith was feeling it. That's what.
No, Faith heard. Faith heard the rumor that Birdwing was 1v5ing and he wanted to go see that like a concert. And, he paid the price.
Oh, but like, the Smurfs have reset their ult economy and they need to push 100 meters back the other way.
Oh, and now we're seeing Jagger Queen.
And they didn't. They didn't even win that fight. They just got a reset.
I mean, yes, like Junker Queen kind of does make sense against the Winston, but
Oh yeah, I think against Winston it's fine. The problem is like it's not so much that the Queen is built, or picked. It's that it's just so late in the match.
Oh. Okay,
Nano
Decay
Bird ring
and
to-
MCD get a little greedy there. They nano Decay before he has ult and try to get him to ult, and he's too deep and doesn't get ult quick enough and dies.
And also they nanoed Bird Ring, so Bird Ring gets the body shot as the Carnage comes through. So, man, that's actually an interesting read there. By Prophet has been aggressive so far in the map that you saw Choice Now look behind as if he was because Prophet historically would have blinked to that Mega to try and take the 1v1.
Ooh,
but
good
Izayaki
sleep by
stuck.
Izayaki.
Good
Sleep.
sleep.
Oh, Choice One is dead,
Izayaki saves himself there, dude.
but might not actually win the fight.
Yeah, because Violet is down, and if you look at the positions here, it's actually like they have to give up a lot of ground in order for them to survive, or give up like advantageous terrain. But okay, Prophet is doing Prophet things, takes down MCD, so that's a lot of sustain denied from Team 815, and also Prophet just like single-handedly taking care of Faith and Decay. MCD
Why
and
is
Decay.
pulse bombing there?
Well, I mean, maybe he just wanted to like, I don't know.
But you just, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
if you
even
get
the-
pulse
yeah.
there, you get later stagger, and they basically have checkpoint already, anyways. I mean, it would have been long spawn for someone if he got them. So like, maybe you stop checkpoint off that, but I don't know. That was the
It's
only
taking
thing you really had.
It's taking everything in me to not make the someone joke because you said someone.
Hey,
Well, but you
I-
just mentioned it. So
look,
Well, no, but I
you
didn't make the
barely
joke.
went
I
any
didn't make
better.
the joke. I
Hey.
didn't make the joke.
look, this is what I'll do. As soon as someone comes back from the Saudi League, and well, I mean, he does still have to play from ISOHAN, so if he ends up not playing, I'll bring him here so that we can have a someone unknown stream. Alright?
That would be pretty. That naming convention wise, that is goated. And also person wise. Alright, anyways, yeah, just overclock wins fight.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty cheap fight for them because they didn't even have to use the nano. And considering that the Smurfs will be having a lot of tools on hand, maybe if,
I mean, Nano Rally Primal means you can actually tank the Nano Overclock from Bird Ring.
but like the Smurfs also has the Rampage as well, so they probably like saving that Nano kind of like forces the Smurfs to have like to put in everything just to win this fight.
Also, the map is flipped, but this actually favors
This favors
815.
815 by a lot.
So there's that
Nano
rally.
Overclock
Oh,
is
good
not-
stun. So there's also that Rampage, but is actually
the overhealth.
yeah, it's the Rampage is just gonna be enough to survive.
Yeah.
Oh, Faith is taken down. Prophet is trying his best to win, but in the end,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be enough to turn the tides because everyone everyone except Faith is still pushing, alive and pushing. MCD is getting free all charge. He's getting that Black Friday sale.
I mean, the big thing here is the fact that you were able to save Nano on that Overclock fight win, you know, like 2 fights ago. That literally gives you enough to tank 3 ults from ISOHAN, right? Like, or from Smurfs rather. That's like actually so big.
And also look at MCD. He already almost has his like Nano up already.
Oh,
And if that anti had hit from MCD too, like that would have just been another fight. Smurf was solo.
I mean, it's 2 minutes left, like less than 2 minutes. You have to have a miracle to kind of, and because you're back in sync, you Nano Overclock right now.
Yeah, you nano overclock here, and it's cooked. Ooh. Well, I mean, yeah. Even though that's not the flashiest nano overclock we've seen from Decay, the problem is everybody's looking at him, and Smurf just dies.
I mean, there's no way Easy stays alive. Like, no
No,
way.
he's done.
Prophet
I
trying
mean-
to Prophet things again.
The big problem is like trades here don't favor you because you're gonna get the offense. Like 815 are gonna get a secondary fight here on high ground. So like with a minute left, you're forced to use like 2-3 ultimates to regain high ground, and then in the overtime
Just
fight,
to
you
get
have
start
nothing.
pushing again.
Smurf dies chasing Kellen.
And yeah, that cannot happen.
Kellen's
That
gonna
is
get
that is a 2v1. That is a 2v1 that a character with self-healing loses. It straight up just shouldn't happen.
It's so tough, dude. And
Against a tickle, and it's not like Kellen is using. It's not like Kellen has burst damage either, right? Like that. Smurf just should not die there.
It's probably like Decay on the high ground that provided the damage, right? It has to be.
I mean, probably.
Even still, though.
But even still.
Nano Bird Ring.
Ooh, great stun. Ooh, okay, good shot.
Yeah, but that's 3 ults.
True. That is. There's gonna be no future.
That was 3 ults for just the rally.
So
Like,
it's gonna be
oof.
overtime.
Yeah, so over time, you have. I mean,
This has to be the most sick rampage we've ever seen.
like it's 3 fights.
No,
right?
even yeah, even with that Rampage, like it has to be just the Rampage and nothing else if they
And I
want to
mean,
keep
the thing
going on.
is, the thing is, you just because Kellen has primal, he can solo tank the point.
Yeah.
He doesn't. You don't have to send in Choice A1 to contest. Yeah, like look at this. Like it's so passive from the rest of the team. It's so smart.
Profit miss.
And that Rampage does nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't totally whiff, but it doesn't
No,
get anyone
it did whip.
viable.
That was the ante. That was the ante.
That
Was it the
anti-need.
anti from
Yeah,
before?
that was
Yeah,
the
it
anti-need
was
from
the
his
anti.
anti.
Oh, Smurf. Smurfy poo.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
it.
I think he
That's it.
just got like a mental boom issue, like after the first 3 maps. And then this is actually a game.
That was not a close map.
No. Can we go back to that fight where Smurf dies in that 2v1? I want to see how he dies. Like from his POV. Does he get hit by damage from
Before that.
yeah,
Yeah, before
a little
overtime.
bit further back even.
Yeah, I know. Like it's somewhere here. No.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
even
it's
a
like
little bit further.
it's even it's yeah, it's
Yeah,
like before
it
this
was
fight.
before that fight, so like 1
He's like
minute
80
before.
he's like 80% to his ult, I think.
Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, a little bit further cuz he's like what gets him that low? Okay, so here. Okay, cool. I mean, this is just the fight happening, so
Missed the knife.
Yeah, nothing super surprising here. That knife's too early. Yeah, decay.
It's the counter.
Oh, he comes around. He
missed
picks the wrong
Carnage.
side. Yeah.
I mean, even if he did hit that Carnage, it probably wouldn't been enough.
Yeah, it's probably not enough healing.
Yeah. All right, just a good shot from DK then. I mean, it's not really Smurf's fault.
I mean, but
Maybe
also,
you don't take that angle, but even still.
Yeah, I mean, chasing their. I mean, the fact is, even if it's not Smurfs' fault, the Smurfs, I mean, probably should have had like a support go that way. It only takes one person to escort the bot.
Yeah.
Like not MCD. Izayaki actually goes the long way and is super late. Like it's Violet who was on the cart there. So I don't know why Izayaki goes the long way instead of going around like through the mega pack room.
I mean,
with Smurf.
he didn't. I don't think he. Maybe he was a little bit afraid of 815's kind of like switching targets and then just jumping into him. Probably. I don't know, to be honest, but I think that has to be the reason he's going the safer way.
Yeah. Did your YouTube's comment get unpinned,
Did it?
or am I just like missing it?
I think it did.
Oh.
How does your pin get unpinned? Oh, it's a
I think it might be a
Did
time.
you set
thing.
it for a certain amount of time?
Okay. Huh. Twitch is hard. Well,
Cool.
this time I pinned it until the end of the stream, so
Nice.
There we go. Let's go.
Alright, next match is the most recent match of Team 815. It is against the Hamsters.
Ooh.
So,
Hamster makes his triumphant return to Korea.
haha! Lijiang Tower.
This is a match where the Hamsters might get cooked because, or not the Hamsters, sorry, 815 might get cooked because I can't help but feel that, like, even if you mirror, Hanbin is just gonna take over. Or Fearless is on this team too, right?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, we're back. Time to start
Yeah.
banning again. Woo!
Oh God.
Oh.
5,
Wait, how do I?
3,
Oh, I have to open.
1.
Come on.
Round 1.
Hey,
Capture
let me
the
ban these kids.
objective.
Real Kevster? No, it is real proper.
Yeah.
So, this is just trivia. Proper uses Kevster as his username, and Kevster uses Proper as his username. Something good to see is Helen playing the Sigma. I really like this setup. Like, remember when 815 also played Sigma before? I really liked it.
Is now active.
Yeah, I mean it's hard for the Doomfist comp to siege into this.
And like, unless sure, I guess.
Nice push too.
And I really like the adaptation from Decay. So, I mean, like, we also see a lot of Symmetra on Lijiang in general as well. But especially if you're playing a slower composition like the Sigma composition, one of the cons, one of the weaknesses that this comp has, it's a relatively slow composition. But I think they're trying to kind of cover those kind of weaknesses by having faith on the Licio instead of the original Brig, and also Decay on the Symmetra to provide like instant movement, like not like movement speed, but just like instant access to certain points of the map.
That was a bit of a disorganized TP.
It was.
They were trying to pull the same thing in their first. Oh, and then
So, okay, so Fade,
Very
pretty
safe.
decent. Yeah, that was a decent. That was a decent sound barrier, but
This is becoming kind of a mess. Okay, there we go. Rally. That should be fight win.
goodbye, Kellen. I think one of the biggest problems that, about this fight is that not like, yes, they lost, which is also a problem, but even for the next fight, Team Hamster has so many tools at their disposal that they can use against Team 815. They can choose to go for the nano overclock. They can even go for the nano blade. And with Kellen, with only the gravitic flux on the side of Team 815, I don't think it's just going to be enough for them to have a team fight win.
Blade. Oh, nicely done by Stalker. Ooh.
Focused warrior.
Is that a 5K?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think he kills Choi.
I thought he did.
So, 1,
2,
3, 4.
Okay.
Four. Oh, Choi lives. Unlucky. Look, it was 5 in the kill feed because of the lamp.
Yeah,
Yes.
the buildables.
Like, even after this, like, yes, it's like 1-on-1 on ults, but if you look at, like, potentially how much damage each team can do, like, Proper's Sojourn also with that overclock, I think should be expecting more damage, right? I wouldn't, like, if Kellen kind of like makes like a 3-man, 4-man flux, that's gonna be awesome, but we don't expect a lot. Like it's not like I'm just trying to downplay Kellen. Usually in professional settings, you don't expect like.
Yeah, you don't get 4 or 5 usually with a critical flux. Also, they've swapped. Oh, okay. I mean, fair enough. I was gonna say they've swapped off that faster version of the composition, right? Like Choi's on the tracer now, and Faith's over to the brick. I was worried about how long the rotation would take because, like, the longer your rotation takes, the more likely it is that Fielder hits an ante. Fielder
Same with
hits an
comp.
ante, this becomes really hard. Ooh, okay.
I like the adaptation. I like the adaptation, but I think it's too late.
Yeah. Unless you run on the back line. No, okay, he gets CS.
No, you don't even have to run into the backline with this composition. You can just go Nemesis form and just run at the Sigma first because you're not gonna connect. You're not gonna grasp a fist.
I mean, hang on. Nano Proper, always
Oh, Nano
Yeah, this guy.
Proper! Nano Proper! God, I love watching Proper.
legitimately, like, this is to bring back the MVP narrative from 2 years ago. There are very few players in this game that no matter what resources they have, you don't expect them to do something. Proper is the player that, like, anytime he's on the field, you expect magic.
And I think it has something to do with the pros because remember Prophet was also one of those kind of players too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Kellen just gets bullied the entire time there.
I mean, I think from a certain point, it's just like it just snowballed from ult management because remember, like after the hamsters just won with like a nano blade, and then they had all the resources in the world. Yes, they did drop a fight, and then it was okay because they swapped to a more, I guess, advantageous composition, and they still built from that. The Team 815, on the other hand, it looked like they were winning fights, but they were forced into investing a lot of the ultimates. So, in the end, they came to a point where there were giant resources, and they just had to. There were no other option than just losing the fight, apart from, I guess, individual pop-ups, right?
Yeah.
Mirror comp's on.
Kellen playing the Sigma. Han been playing the Sigma as well.
I like seeing the little post in the middle get lit up with sim turrets on either side.
Ooh, Han been very low.
Good lamp.
If there is one critique of Proper's hero pool, is that his Symmetra is bad.
Is it bad though?
Yeah, it's not as good as like his understanding of like the teleport and like when to engage / disengage does not seem to be as good as some other pros. Like when you watch people like, I mean, Decay is one of them, but also Why am I X4 to Mayhem player? Oh my god, why am I blanking his name?
I don't know.
Yaki?
Ooh, how does Choi die?
Checkmate.
Oh,
thank you. Yes, checkmate. Like the rotation.
He just got
on-
spammed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, if you, I've been getting off Sigma first. It's so funny.
No, because I legit think that Ramatra and a Brawly style comp, it really works well against this composition. Although, like, yes, they lose, but like in a theoretical sense, that Ramatra makes a lot of sense.
I think it's also just easier to try and play like offense into the Sigma comp than like with the Ramatra than it is with a Sigma, right? Because you have more ways to pressure Kellen and force Kellen back, and if you can force Kellen back, then there's a good chance that Proper or Stalker can find an opening somewhere. But if you're just running the Sigma v Sigma, like you're relying on like a slow positional game, and I just don't know if you have the time for it.
Yeah. So this is what Paul was talking about. Like, if there weren't ults, like I think Team 815 is gonna win this fight just because they have ultimates. But like theoretically, like Hanbin when with the Nemesis form, like he was pressuring Kellen backwards, and if Team 815 didn't have an ult advantage, then that's how like the DPS players from the side of Team Hamster get that space that they need in order to do the damage and just win that fight.
And now like or not 815.
The Smurfs?
Hamster have traded just the photon barrier for like the two best ults on 815's roster, and now they just throw their own back.
Oh well, they used a lot. They used too many ultimates here.
Really, I think the Amp Matrix was unnecessary. I think if you were going into this next fight with an Amp Matrix mirror, then you would actually be okay. But now you're looking at Amp Amp overclock, and that's tough. Because like Decay doesn't even have to play through the Amp Matrix. Decay can actually play.
No, I will say there is 2 cooldowns to block the window here, wall and shield. Or just run them over before they even get through.
I like running them over. Oh, I really like running them over.
Taking down Decay first was really important because he was the one with the overclock and had that winning condition going. So Faith taking down Hanbin is a different story though. Kellen very low, the lamp forced to save Kellen, and Faith is down.
Wait, where's MCD? There we go, finally.
You know what's really funny is that Kinetic Grass is actually garbage against this team comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the few team comps that, like, objectively, the Sigma just is really bad at dealing with.
And again, that's why I think into the mirror Ramatra, or the quote unquote mirror, right? The Ramatra is actually kind of sick.
But
they're still gonna lose the fight because they don't have anything.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, keep in mind that this was Hamster down like 60%.
And also, I remember they used too many ultimates, like in like 2 fights ago.
Score.
This is also, I think,
honestly, they could have gotten out of that with 2, probably.
Who did 815 or who did Hamster play in the round of in the quarterfinals? Poker Face.
Quarterfinals, yeah, Poker Face.
This would have been the first time that Hamster has had to play like super seriously, right? Because like, keep in mind, they did technically play seriously against the Smurfs in bracket and qualifier play, but they've been trolling like up to now essentially. So this is like the first time we actually get to see them play like on roll, switching compositions as required, like kind of counter comping, etc., etc. So it's interesting to kind of highlight that.
I like the adaptation from Team Hamster here. Like, they understand. I mean, it would have been so easy for them to be like, "Hey, we went to Ramatra and so lost. Maybe it's not as a good combination." But I like to see that they understand that it was the execution that was the problem, and they stuck with the Ramatra rush, the brawl composition, because I still think that this Paul pointed out, or did LaFon point that out, that Kinetic Grasp is garbage, absolute trash against this composition. And like Kinetic Grasp is one of the biggest reasons that the Sigma composition is a viable composition because it allows Sigma to survive so long and it buys enough time for the rest of the team to do meaningful damage.
What a very silly fight.
That was a very silly fight.
Yep. Kellen doing a lot of work because he's already approaching his flux, gravitic flux.
Ooh, nice hit from Kellen. That was sick prediction right there.
So I really want to ask Team 815, where was this composition where you've been like kind of like slash throwing with the Doofus composition?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, maybe maybe they just don't like to play it into dive, but since
No, but there's no
Hamster
way that Dive's gonna win this composition, win against this composition.
look, I don't think so either, but the one time we saw them play it into a dive comp, they swapped off it after losing one fight, so I don't know, man. Look, I think you're right analytically and theoretically, but like,
Hey,
I'm just trying to get in their heads.
Yeah, exactly. I understand. So Flux, Proper was never able to make it into that teleport. Oh, he dies.
Nice
He doesn't-
beat! Wow, that was huge from Chio and Fielder. The goats back at it.
So, summarizing what happened in this match, like just like looking like back, like Team 815, they used a lot of resources. They even used the Blizzard to try to keep their whole hands on their point. But in the end, they have two very important. They're missing two very important ultimates. I'm sorry. Soccer used the Blizzard, and now it's going to be the annihilation from the side of Hanbin to zone out any approach from the side of 815. 815 has to regroup, and this, it looks like...
That was overclocked too.
Yeah.
That was overclocked and beat.
Yeah.
So Team 815 are lacking enough resources. They don't have any ultimates. And with the progress on the point, like getting equalized, they might need a super play to get through this blockade.
Man, checkmate. Choice one rather just fell over. That's he showed up for a half a second and then died.
Ooh, good pick. I really like Kellen's mechanics on Sigma.
These
Yeah.
Mays have been getting absolutely bursted. Like, that's like the fourth time we've seen a May just die before the cryo freeze could even be thought about.
Okay. This fight should theoretically be on Team 815's favor because Kellen does have the gravitic flux, and
I think
Team
well, I
Hamster
think
goes
the-
have to
I
go
think
through
the
a
thing
choke
here-
point. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think the thing here is that Hamster are gonna try and slow this fight down to try and get sound barrier. Like Shield's already at 90. Yeah, this is even though Flux is up, I think you're gonna have.
What's is hard to follow up on with the photon
Yeah.
barrier up?
Oh, Chio gets frozen.
Chio,
Wait.
he still gets the beat off.
And the annihilation as well.
Health. Chio, Chio, I think had literally 1 health.
Wait, he jumps in.
I think he 3 health, and he gets the beat off, dude.
What nerves of steel?
That's tough, dude.
I will also say though that he did have the photon barrier to defend him, so it's not like he was throwing the fight. You know, like it was a calculated risk, that one.
I mean, also you have to beat there because like there's no saving beat for next fight. They're at 99.
Yep. The sound barrier gets all 5, so there's a lot of sustain for the side of Team 815. But still, health bars are very low across all the board.
Wait,
Kellen's gonna be frozen. So this is actually
maybe Loki throws this fight.
what happened.
Choi Loki throws that fight. He's like his entire team is rushing the backline, and he's worried about Stalker instead, who still had cryo. Like the beat goes out, and he's trying to force Stalker away, but Stalker just cryo freezes and then has Blizzard. Like if Choi is pushing with his team there, they get those kills in the backline so much faster, and Stalker, it doesn't matter if he has Blizzard. There's no follow up.
might have cost him the map. Well, I mean, at the heat of the moment, it's really hard to make those calls. And
Yeah, I mean, it can be hard, but that's wild.
yeah, that's sad.
Decay loses duel to proper. That's also true. That doesn't help. I think that fight's still winnable if Choi goes with the team.
Ready for battle.
I don't know if he had wall though. If you could wall off Stalker, then the fight is winnable. I don't remember if he had wall or not.
Ooh,
It doesn't
Fearless is
matter.
subbed in.
Ooh, Fearless.
Also,
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Did Develop play the last map, or was it MCD?
I thought it was MCD.
It was MCD.
So Develop is in it as well.
So one player starts and the other one comes in second map both times.
Shout out to Kevster, by the way. I don't think we talk about this enough. Getting his visa to Korea to just play on this team.
Oh, shut
So-
up! Shut up! Shut up! You're
Spreading misinformation on unofficial broadcast.
This Kevster is not Kevster. Kevster's proper.
And proper is Kevster, so.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Proper is
like mathematically, they're the same person. All right.
One.
We've never seen them on the same team at the same time.
Defend objective.
Oh, so we're talking about Hermione
Could you imagine
shenanigans.
That team though, that'd be wild.
Apparently, Proper said that he would like to play with Kevster if he didn't go with the Shock again last season.
I believe it. That'd be a
So
sick
early
DJ.
setup from the side of Team Hamster, and
Stalker is bullying Choi Se-won. Although, I guess it's a 2v2. It's Stalker and Chio versus Choi Se-won and Faith.
this is a weird setup. Chisowan's kind of isolated here.
Chio is completely out of this. Oh, actually, he comes right back. Oh,
Oh,
and
nice. Choi Se-won rolled Stalker.
Chisowan got his revenge. Fields are taken down, so this is just gonna be cleanup duty for the side of Team
Yeah.
815. Fearless
That setup
doing what he
was-
can, but
that setup was maybe a little cooking too much for Hamsters. And they try to send that 2v2 all the way around, and then like just wrap Stalker back around.
yeah,
like,
there's
the-
so many walls in that point at that terrain where there's like a split moment where like just Chio doesn't have line of sight of Stalker and Chisowan just jumps in.
Well,
Oh my
and
God,
not
Choi
even
Se-won.
that. Yeah.
Ooh. How he stays alive is incredible. I think Faith literally uses 3 packs on him.
Kellen on oh nice. So develop in a relatively safe position.
Special delivery.
Chisiwan's
Wait,
pulse bomb
are they
goes
overheating
wide.
here? Yes.
No. That was close. That was actually a really close fight. If they had the follow through on that anti, this is the fight that turns. But instead, it's like close.
Yeah, because Fearless is down, they don't have any Jesus
And
the tank left.
that was. Oh, actually, it was 3 ults from both sides. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. The only thing left is it's gonna be overclock versus overclock.
Yep.
Decay has been hitting those, but proper is him.
My OC versus your OC. Such a dumb joke. Holy.
I liked it.
So, which one of those Sojourners are gonna pull the trigger first? It looks like it is gonna be Decay. Kellen also follows up the damage, so Capture is denied. Well, sorry, excuse me, Proper is denied that overclock. Jisuwan also doing a lot of work.
The
Stalker
movement there
trying to
from Decay.
trying to make things happen, but it does not. So, in the end, Proper did not have to, was not able to use the
It's a good
overclock.
setup by it's a good read actually by 815. They know what the win condition is because it's the same as theirs. So don't allow them to set up. Kevster's controlling the high ground, trying to get a fight in.
Oh, good. This is gonna delay them even more. And if
Yeah,
there's
I
gonna
mean,
be a
it's-
stagger kill here, it's just pretty much gonna be over.
Special delivery.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on. But
I mean, it's still
Proper's
a
also
stagger play, but that elimination to Decay is big because now you can't set up for an aggressive phase.
You have to go back all the way to the point.
Yeah, exactly. And this also buys Proper time to like
30 seconds.
set up for a high ground overclock. I think.
Chisuwan knows this. Chisuwan
Yeah.
wants to assassinate Proper here.
I think you have to nano Kellen early here. Yeah.
They do.
But they don't have enough follow up with him. Choice A one's completely disconnected.
Now.
Oh, they're
Oh.
trying to kill
Oh! Decay!
or Proper. That was a great play.
This
That's a really.
But you need
really
the
good
healing
read.
after.
he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't even need it.
Wow. Full hold.
Probably.
Oh my God, the band hammer's coming back.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay.
Wow. Decay just carried that fight.
That was tight. That was tight from
Yeah, I think
from 815. That was a really
actually,
tight defense.
I might have the permission to that myself. So let me see.
Initiating match.
Why are you guys doing to me?
Stalker C9. I mean, the fight's over. It doesn't really matter. Stalker gets back to the point there. The fight is giga over.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does manage to touch that point, it's like, just, I don't know. It's still over.
Ready.
I just
Oh,
put
good
I just
job.
put on, yeah, I put 10-minute follow mode on, so because these are getting annoying.
Oh, thank you.
That was actually really nice. So I thought for a moment that Choi Se-won and Kellen were disconnected. But the again, they're playing around that overclock win condition for Hamster, right? So Kellen is just distracting the supports, making sure that they can't keep proper up, and then Choi Se-won and Decay team up on proper.
Yep.
Really well done, honestly.
I mean, like, it just proves that 815, like LaFont said, like, just understands what their win conditions are, right? Because even like when, because Popper was taken out early, like, had to like kind of like join the fight later on, and Trisewan was on like where Fearless is right now, and to try to assassinate, or at least put him in a position where he can't like freely overclock to his teammates.
Nailed empowered and ready to fire.
Decay is a lot of talent. Oh, he almost had that perfect shot. Fearless very low. Fearless taken down.
Cool.
This might be bad news. Oh, two.
Oh, and Stalker just gets rolled. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I understand that. I understand that play from Stalker because, like, it was a good anti-nade, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, you have to go for it there, but really nice from 815 to realize Stalker was coming in and just roll him.
Wow.
I mean, I guess now we see why 815 likes the Winston comp.
I mean, yes, but the thing that was kind of like, I guess, for me, is that I understand that they wanted to do the Winston composition, but why did they play the Doomfist composition? Like to me, yes, of course, Doomfist and we have clear differences between the Doomfist composition and the Winston composition, but especially when you want to, like, in maps like map types like Flashpoint, or like you can use your cooldowns just to move around against like versus the Doomfist the Winston composition. When you actually use your jump, you have to use it on the enemy rather than try to get to places unless you're already like pre-setting up for something. But I think I agree with you, Paul, that the Winston composition is a much better look to them than the Doomfist composition, and they should probably.
I think straight up they're just more comfortable with it. There are some rounds where I think you can make the argument that the Doomfist is objectively better, if only slightly objectively better. Like we were talking about how like we were talking about on Suravasa, right? But Kellen just looks so much more comfortable on the Winston than the Doomfist.
I agree, but I also still think that, like, even in Blizzard World, the Sigma composition is like just a better composition.
I think it's really good defense. I think it's hard to attack first with the Sigma comp just because it's really slow. It is really slow. I think if you attack first with Sigma, you get like 2.5 fights on first instead of like the 4 you get with a dive comp.
But then if you lose all 4 fights with a dive comp, like, what does it really matter?
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, hey, if they're also playing dive, then you're fine.
Yeah,
Smile.
true.
So A15, it works out.
Interesting to see that both teams were hovering the Sigma. Especially like remember we were talking about we were talking about like slow comps and Flashpoint trying to like need for speed, right?
I think for Hamster, I mean, yeah, for Hamsters here, you have the Symmetra, so that helps like lapse your speed problem. But Decay has been having such a heater on the Sojourn that they're trying to keep him on it, and yeah.
Ooh, actually, Hubman's the one to fall first, despite Kellen being very, very low early on. And I really like your point, Paul, because Decay on the Sojourn, like today, it looks like he's hitting those shots. It's not, I mean, not saying that Decay didn't hit those shots before, but like today, he's like making a lot of important kills. And I also kind of like how Faith is on the Lucio. Maybe an attempt to kind of like a little bit compensate for the lost, like try to put up the pace for the side of the slow Sigma competition.
Solo here. Yeah, no. I mean, good attempt, but it's not happening. And now they're all split up too.
Faith is somehow.
I mean, that's the second fight. No, I mean, the first fight didn't go that well for a Hamster, but that's 2 fights in a row where Stalker has gotten the vastly better wall compared to Choice A1.
I wish
Sim over Sojourn when he's still learning Sojourn. Because Doge.
2 reasons.
Sojourn
One, this is Flashpoint, and you get the teleporter, so you get more fights. And 2, Sim is in close quarters, is a little bit better into the Sigma because you can harass the Sigma, ramp off the shield.
Kellen just got obliviated there.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
Accretion through window.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
So, Decay was in a position that was assuming that Kellen was just gonna live. And as soon as Kellen just died there, he was like in no man's land. So
I mean, that's gonna be the point. That's the point. That's that's literally the
it's
first point.
And
It
all
also- I will also say
there is Amp Matrix.
Yeah, I will also say this way the Sojourn fights versus the way the Symmetra fights is very different. Sojourn, you kind of have to like play slow until you take I mean, when you have your ult, it's different, but you kind of have to play slow until you ramp up your rail and then play an off angle away from the shield to try and find a headshot. But also, there are very few players you can actually straight up just insta kill as Sojourn against this comp, right?
guys, we have. Oh, go ahead. We're gonna have fireworks, by the way. Well, not if Shio dies that quickly. Okay.
It's a
Shio's
really
been having
nice
a bit of a
pick.
rough game, though.
Well, we are having fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
No, okay. I mean, that's so many ults.
How many ults were that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ults
6 ults.
in that fight.
It's 2 for 4 though. I think Hamster are pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but if he probably, I don't know. But do they? Are they? Because the only ults that they have is the
I mean, beat
That's true.
just beat like counters Flux,
and
right?
then
And then
it's
you
just
have-
pretty much the
If you
Photon
photon
barrier.
barrier off, develop and decay here.
Yeah, they actually do nothing. Like Decay's out of this fight. They have to play so passively on this. I
But-
actually don't like that wall.
no, but then they also just have to use this just to get onto the point. Maybe okay.
I think the order
Yeah, I
of
think-
operations is a
I
little
think it ends-
incorrect, but
I think it ends up being okay because develop isn't able to disengage, right?
Yeah.
Faith doesn't help develop kite away from that. So when you get onto the point, you're also on top of develop.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think you're right in having concerns about it though. I don't know if that wall was if that photon barrier was necessarily perfect from.
no, I don't think it was good. I
Or
just
the
think
wall.
yeah, I just don't. They weren't punished for it, so you know.
Yeah. Oh, they're playing really forward here.
Yep, they are.
Well, keep in mind they have no resources.
Is Maywell big enough to isolate at that choke? I guess it'd be really hard to. It's a pretty wide choke.
Oh,
No blizzard.
Bro, Kellen's been getting bullied, dude. That should be the fight, right?
yep,
using
that is
Matrix?
fun.
I mean,
Without
it's the point now.
decay?
That's the point.
Why would you use Ant Matrix without decay?
Maybe he wanted to use it to amplify the heal.
That is such a good shield by.
But you're backing away from. Nah, I think that's just. I mean,
It's a little bit of a troll. It's a little
even
bit
if
of a
the
troll.
individual thought process there from develop is like, oh, I want to amplify the heal.
Yeah, it's not.
Like,
It's
the team
not a
is just
good.
Not on the same page. I think
Also,
that's
Hanbin
such a
blocks the
low
heal anyway, so.
percent play. Yeah, that too.
I don't think they can
Faith
touch.
trying to go touch, dude. Just accept it's gone. Thank you.
Paul is so mad right now.
Flash one.
Faith was literally about to throw his life away for nothing. He thought better of it though. It's okay. All good, Faith. All good.
Hey, at least he. Hey, just look at the possible, like, worst possible scenario. He touches and uses like sound barrier to keep himself alive.
I was just thinking of that, dude. Oh man. All right. Inside rotation for 815. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So good tempo.
Whoa.
Okay, you have. Oh, the blizzard actually doesn't get. Hanbin LOS is the blizzard because it's on the high ground.
And Kellen also uses every like.
Why are we using more ults? Oh no.
So I just want to kind of like
This is the sunk cost fallacy in practice. It's like, oh, we use so much, even though we're losing the fight, we have to win, so let's dump more ults in.
Okay, thank you for letting me know that, because next time I'm just gonna have every Overwatch player in esports just like, you know, take economics 101.
They need to take a statistics course, yeah.
No, they need to go read Mankey's Principles of Economics. Like,
Oh,
815 is getting
no.
messy here.
This is what I was saying though, right? Like,
This is straight up the map, by the way.
Even-
This fight here means the map's over.
even though, like, on paper, right? Like, if everyone was exactly as good at every composition and every hero, like, you should just be running the Sigma. 815 looks so bad on this comp.
Well, I mean,
like, compared to how good they look on, like, the Winston, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think the Winston necessarily beats Hamster here, right? But this 815 just don't even look competitive. Kellen's getting bullied. Choi's not getting anything with his walls. Decay can't find anything on any of these angles because he just keeps getting walked on, right? It's just not the same level of comfort for this team.
that's map.
That's a 2-1.
Well,
2-1 start.
Yep.
I want to point out that I don't necessarily like. I've seen some, but I think this is more of a Team 815 thing rather than just
Sure.
like, a compositional thing itself. Like it.
Oh,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Team 815 had some bright moments on the Sigma composition as well, and they looked really bad on some of the dive composition as well. So what I'm trying to say here is that whatever comp Team 815 plays, it's just it's either a grand slam or just a 3-swing strikeout for them.
I think they've had moments where they had times where they looked bad in the Doomfist comp. But the Winston, I think they've looked pretty good the whole time. I can't remember a moment where I was like, oh god, what are they doing when they were playing the Winston comp? Like maybe 1 or 2 fights. But that entire map, they just looked lost.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that one. Like they like even like just the macro I'm not even going into the macro like kind of play where you're trying to do ult economy and that kind of stuff, but like just the micro decisions. Like if you're at that level of play, you should know better that you're not going to touch, like especially on bomb flats. Like you like Faith should have not even been in that position.
Well, he did know better. It just took him a second.
No. What I'm trying to say is that he should have been already taxing his team
agreed.
To whatever, preparing for the next point, wherever that may be. And like even taking those 2 seconds or 3 seconds just to even consider contesting the point is like, I don't know, bad discipline, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
wild.
Queen Street.
Hey, the home of LaFawn. And
Yep,
Strictly
that's actually
strictly
LaFawn's
speaking-
house back there.
oh really?
Strictly speaking, New Queen Street is
No.
5 hours away from where I live.
I was gonna say.
Well, the city that New Queen Street is based in is 5 hours away from where I live.
Toronto?
Yes. I don't live in Toronto.
Yeah. I heard you. I remember talking to you about you taking a flight to Toronto to go to grand finals.
I took the train
Oh,
actually.
my bad.
Yeah. I mean, about the same amount of time, to be honest. Considering
Decay
like, the morning
almost just fell down the map. It's
the pros are just like us.
well, the only
really
difference
good.
is that we actually do fall.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, MCD just got dumpstered by soccer there. But Fearless is traded out. So I think this is actually a profitable no, I was about to say it was profitable for
Fielder and Chio work overtime there to keep everybody alive. Like once Fearless goes down, they're just in a huddle.
Well, I just want to change the subtitles real quick for the teams.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Team.
Do I say one recall forced already?
That's tough.
Yeah, he's not. Well, I mean, he has recall now, but he already conceded a lot of space.
Yeah. Man, how wild is it? This roster, Proper and Stalker, both players can just take over a game. Like, how do you deal with that?
Just try to stop me.
Like, look at that.
Speaking of, that was with the.
I mean, he was
nanoed.
nanoed.
He didn't use overclock though.
All right, that is gonna be the Nano Primal Rage.
Nice primal.
That's not a bad juggle.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Ooh. That was
See,
an
like,
expensive
I don't know,
fight,
man. Look at it, Kellen on Winston is just so much different than looking at him on Sigma.
though. I mean, to be fair, how many ults did? 1, 2. 1, 2.
This is like Hamster the
It's
goat.
2 for 2. I guess it's 3 for 2. They use Nano as well.
That's a fair fight. Okay, yeah, I agree that this team just looks a lot better.
Okay.
Oof.
This ends now.
What?
Oh, what a read,
Damn.
actually.
Really nice.
This ends.
Stalker goes for the greedy play, and Decay punishes him for it.
Oop.
Oh, unlucky.
Oh.
But proper. Oh, but proper exists.
Come on.
But proper exists.
This guy is nasty.
Proper. We should restrict Proper's playtime by law. What?
Is that a delivery? Oh
No,
no, they're just on top of each other. Damn.
So here's the thing, right? He's like, oh, we killed the raid boss. Surprise! Raid boss part 2.
Oh man.
Hamster really went out there and said, if raid boss so popular, why no second one? And made a second one.
Oh my God, Raid Boss 2.
And like remember, like these two DPS players, if you look at their hero pools, Fearless, Fearless forced out to pop his primal, but I don't think it'll.
I think that's actually okay though.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
not too bad.
the DPS pool for Hamster, is there any character they can't play?
I don't think so. I honestly don't
Dorbian.
think so. No, Stalker can play Dorbian.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, Chio, they're trying to clutch this. They
Oh.
That's wild.
Oh my goodness.
This guy actually rallies at 20 HP. What a G.
What a nut. It lit, bruh.
And lives and kills.
That's oof. Oh man. Oof.
Oh man. I am at a loss for this, to be honest with you. I mean, it's
this team,
not
man.
it's not that Team 815 has bad players.
No. This
No,
really
they're
is
playing
one
better
team
this
just kind of.
I mean, look at that ante.
Whew.
That's just nuts from Fielder, dude.
Like this is really like Hamster just flexing their mechanics.
That was Fielder hitting a long range uphill ante and then just not giving a single fuck that Kellen is on top of him, even with a primal look, dude. He just doesn't
He's getting slapped! Oh my goodness!
go to bed.
Yeah, this is some mechanical flexing going on right now.
Oh yeah, at this point, like, I don't know.
Like Decay needs to have an insane overclock here, and he doesn't have nano for it.
Yeah,
He just gets pushed and they run away. And then the rally comes out and he can have no fun.
Yes, Fearless is asleep, but still, damage is done.
I think if Hamster played like this every single map, they would 3-0 everyone.
Maybe not O2, but yeah, I think
I don't know, against proper Stalker versus Hisang and Proby, like proper Stalker kind of clears.
Taking proper Stalker 10 times out of 10.
yeah, I guess.
Not only this is gonna be a full cap with like 4 minutes remaining. This is like wild.
Oh no, he's Kellen too. He was sleeping. Oh no.
Damn.
Hamster really just woke up and said, New Queen Street is our home.
Oh my goodness.
Truly, dude.
And that's the end of the series. The series just ended like that. Let that sink in for a second.
Woof. And then, so 815's in the lower bracket now, right?
Yeah, I just
Yes.
want to point that out. I'm just getting.
I think their game is today.
No,
Ooh.
next week.
Good.
Oh, next week. Yes, that's right.
Ooh, also fun.
So this is how the bracket looks right now. Is my cam? No, my cam is not obscuring vision for you guys. So, 3 teams from this top 8 bracket moves to qualifies for the APAC finals. O2 High School Team Hamster is already locked in because no matter what they do, they are locked in as top 3. So if you look at the lower bracket here, we have Team 815, ISOHAN. So either of them go home, and then Runaway Pokerface is also at the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
So look
Smurf out lower round 1 is crazy.
So look at this. Merit, someone, Aunt, Pelican, Callius, Churl, Vigilante, Decay, Chisoan, Kellen, Faith, MCD, Develop. One of them will not make it into LAN.
That's crazy, man.
Yes, and also Smurfs are out.
Yeah.
Birdwing,
Dude,
Prophet,
on the
Smurf, Violet, Izayaki, 9K, out.
And on the other side of the lower bracket, you have Runaway, one of the most historic contenders teams of all time, versus Pokerface, who
Call
technically
this-
are the reigning champs.
Call this a contenders team. I dare you. Hisu, Yaki, Mag, Lijigon, Gangnam Jin.
You know what I mean.
I do. But I'm just trying to tease you. I have fun teasing my friends, you know. Yeah.
That O2 high school Hamster game is going to be fire.
That is also going to be fire.
Oh, it is.
Also, we have an update, by the way, on who is going to be joining us at LAN with Southeast Asia and Japan.
Yep, that is very
Those,
correct.
Like those
okay.
teams.
Yes.
Yep, Japan, we will be having Viral and Cresta Crew, which is Vesta Crew is former Invincibles. So,
Okay.
these 2 teams will be joining us.
And Viral is like the Japan team. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah, I
excellent.
think this is pretty expected out of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think this is actually pretty expected of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Daft.
Oh, it's
making a
Daft?
run through.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe I was thinking about Angelica, maybe making a miracle run, but apart from Angelica, I thought it was going to be
Wait,
Daft the entire time.
Daft don't have what's his name?
Yeah, because I don't think he's eligible
Yoshinori.
to play.
Oh, is there a too young rule?
Who?
Sorry, who are you thinking of?
Yoshinori?
Yoshinori 2K is too young, yeah.
Too young? Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was an age
Yeah,
set.
it's 17.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Unlucky for Yoshinori.
Yoshinori
But
is
that
like
team's
what,
still dope.
16,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 16. He's crazy.
and this is Viral. Team Viral is literally,
I mean, they're literally just Team Japan, right?
yes, they are.
Yes.
And I think they actually have a pretty good chance. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna say that Viral's gonna kick Hamster's ass or something like that, but
I mean, both Southeast Asia and Japan are underdogs heading into like the LAN play.
Yeah.
You've got like seasoned veterans coming from Korea, right? Like who've not only have played on LAN but have played against the best that the world has had to offer for how long. But I think they're going to surprise people with how well they can play.
Yeah.
I mean, we already saw a little bit of that at the World Cup, right?
Exactly. Like Team Japan won Team France. I did not see that coming. Like I'll be 100% honest with you. Like I did not see that coming, and like even like that was even with me casting Contenders APAC. Like I knew that Viral was improving. Like I would say that Viral is one of the most improved teams. Like if you compare like a single team's performance from the start of 2023 and the end of 2023, I think Viral is one of the teams that has just kind of like improved like the most, and the meta even favors them as well. Like a nine, like 100% maybe, but like if you want to play the dive, KSG is really good on the Winston and the what do you got, Doomfist as well. Plankton is also a very good. Well, I mean he is a Sigma specialist, but like in a meta where you want to play Sigma as much as possible, like that's also really possible as well. Cloud, a very like I mean each of these members are really good. Like Nico Kuki, very very talented DPS players. Mihawk, like more like a sniper, like long range hit scan specialist, but sometimes can also like go to the flex support role as well. Cloud, Mint,
I liked a lot of what we saw from Cloud at World Cup.
Exactly. And what's more really impressive from because I've met these players at the World Cup, Plankton is not even a full-time professional gamer. He has a day job. Like he has a full-time day job. Like no, that is not related to professional gaming. And he's still keeping up this kind of performances. Like this is like
that's actually been one of the things that's been really cool about the last couple of I guess last year or so. Seeing the resurgence of like some of the Japanese the Japanese fan base obviously, but having the Japanese players like kind of step up again. Because it's been carried by a couple of players for a little while, and to see more and more players stepping back in is kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember we have Tayo as like kind of like the star player for Team Japan, and like kind of like seeing the local leagues kind of step up and having like teams on the local market, just like having like kind of like nurturing good players and just growing both as a player and as a team. Just it looks good, and I hope this becomes a continuing trend. So we do have the Japanese and Southeast Asia teams getting locked in for Korea to come to Korea on LAN. We are waiting for next week because these teams could like one of the reasons that the scheduling is like this is like number one, we didn't want to like kind of like compete with our own broadcasts, like within our own broadcasts, and also the foreign teams, the Japanese teams, the Southeast Asian teams need to get visas cleared out for travel to Korea. So, and these teams, clearly these Korean teams don't need any visas to get to the WDG esports studio. Yes, this VOD will be on YouTube. It's pinned on the stream. That's my YouTube channel. You will also find some other teams. We've covered Runaway. We've covered a Hamster. We covered the Smurfs. So this is our fourth video cover of a specific team on the Flash Ops Holiday Showdown. We will be available tomorrow as well, unless like there are some circumstances that maybe if I don't feel well or something like that. But I'll try to I'm trying to keep this like a regular thing. But For good news for you guys is that the final 2 days of next week we'll be having a broadcast, but not in English, which kind of sucks. But there's some business talk revolving all these stuff. But we folks like you guys, like Paul, LaFon, you guys are also kind of like very welcome to co-stream this live if you want, of course. And if there's no co-stream, I guess English co-stream, I can also kind of like do a VOD review of this, like we've done before. But of course, if you
I'm
guys are
definitely
interested,
down to possibly co-stream it.
yeah, of course,
down,
like.
LaFon?
Say again.
You down to co-stream this, LaFon? I'd be down.
Yeah, if I'm around. December 2nd, 3rd is an interesting week. So we'll see. Yeah, it just there's like IRL.
Well,
stuff
then I'll
happening,
just have to get cooler people to come hang out with me.
I mean, Avril exists.
Oh.
So, yeah, just let me know. I do have some kind of like guidelines for you if you do want to go stream. But,
Sure, yeah.
I run things around here. So, yeah, just let me know.
I'm really excited to see O2 High School Hamster. Like, that game is going to be, I think it's going to be a fun
such
one to
a good
watch.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is kind of a spoiler / update, but we will be having 2 days of 2 days of LAN, and it will be broadcasted in English.
Ooh.
Nice.
It will have official English broadcast. So,
Cool.
Also, just before I close out, I am trying to get some interesting people. Like, I mean, of course, LaFon and Paul, you guys are all like goats to me. No, I would want to add, like, like kind of a also spoiler. Maybe I'll bring some players around that know how to speak English.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah. So I'll try to do what I can. Like, of course, this is something again that I do off my work hours. This is not part of my work. So usually my routine is that I come home from the office, and try to get dinner. If I don't get dinner in time, I start stream. Just like this is like a personal project for me. But I mean, if you guys like it, that's all good. And also, I'm having fun with my friends. I love LaFon and Paul because I've worked with them on Contenders like the entire season, and I had so much fun working with them.
I can also confirm that y'all think Unknown is a goat. I can confirm this is true.
This is true.
This guy does so much
Thank
work
you.
that y'all don't see, but like definitely makes the show go. So
100%.
Unknown deserves all the love.
All right. Thank you. Final comments on 815 before we close the show.
I mean, expected, right? Like this is a team that is performing really well relative to the caliber of their players. Their flexibility is somewhat in question. But even that, like, I mean, they made it to round of 4.
Well, I mean, it's kind of difficult to say because it's
yeah. Yeah, but like even still, I think one of the reasons they lost this game is that they had the unfortunate running up against Hamster, where the maps that Hamster were able to select were ones where they could just out mechanic their opponents.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're on New Queen Street, and that was literally just Stalker, Proper, Fearless, Chio, Fielder, not missing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're up against a team that's that good, it happens.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the lower bracket is going to be really, really, really interesting, especially for 815. Because I don't think their first game is unwinnable, honestly. Depending, I mean, I don't know how much you guys have seen ISOHAN.
No, I think the thing is ISOHAN is missing
right now or something, but
ISOHAN is missing arguably their 2 best players.
Or like Merit and someone, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Like Oz hasn't played competitively on this on this version of Overwatch 2 in like a full season, right?
And without someone, I don't know if ISOHAN is going to be as flexible as it otherwise would be, right?
I do
Like,
think ISOHAN
Kalios
is a
has-
little bit lucky that it's an off tank. Well, you really can force Sigma everywhere, so Kalios can
Yeah.
like succeed. But being able to like throw the Sigma comp off kilter with a Reinhardt with a Ramatra,
Sure.
that is something to kind of highlight. And Merit, when you're in a meta or in a setup where like you can have a pop off performance on Sojourn and like carry a game, there's only a handful of players in the world that are better at it than Merit is. So, it's like a tough thing. So I think ISOHAN, this is a winnable game for 815. It'll be a difficult game, but I
It'll
think a
be a tough
winnable one
game.
for them too. I will say though that 815 ISOHAN winner is going to be the interesting one because I think the Runaway Poker Face game, there's some clear, I don't want to say flaws, but restrictions in what those teams can run. Especially when you look at Runaway, right? Like I think Poker Face is a little bit more
Poker
flexible.
Face a little bit more diverse with
Yeah.
both Glostria and Peppy.
But Runaway, it's like you know what they're running, right? You know what to prep for.
Yeah, you know what Mag's gonna play.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is. I think it's going to be really interesting for me specifically. I think it's just going to be. I'm going to be very careful with predictions here, but I think from what I've seen so far, ISOHAN is kind of like the favorites to move all the way up to the lower bracket finals, and maybe.
I think that's probably fair.
And then this upper bracket final may end up being the grand finals up again, if just a very cautious.
Yeah, I think that's a safe prediction.
It does feel like those two teams are, I don't want to say like far from the other ones, but like it does feel like those two are the two best teams.
Well, I also think that like those two specifically, they don't have where their weakness, quote unquote, lies is in the fact that they have to cycle between. There's a very clear delineation. Like for let's take Hamster, right? If Fearless is in, you're playing Winston or Doomfist,
Sure.
right? The thing is though, I think the interesting thing is because of the adaptation that's happened in the last couple of weeks / month, Hanbin being in gives you the most flexibility. Because even though he can't play I don't think he's going to play Winston. You can still cycle between dive on the Doomfist and then have the Ramatra / Sigma. So there is. It's not. I think Hamster is a little bit more flexible than O2 High School has been historically. Because O2 High School, they have Junbin for like the Winston /
ball.
Ball. I don't think we're gonna see ball. But I think Winston /
Ball's kind of trash right now. So
yeah, like Queen maybe, Doomfist maybe, and then you have Max.
I was gonna
for
say
like,
Jimden plays the Doomfist.
Yeah, but then you have Max who's gonna be like Sigma / Ram /
Yeah.
Doomfist himself. So I think O2 and Hamster are both similar in that if they want to switch styles, they have to like sub players in. Whereas a team like ISOHAN is, if someone comes back, is a little bit more flexible in that regard. And considering what we saw today, 815 also actually, running attack or running Kellen rather, in that kind of flex position. So.
Yep. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Well, anyway, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for coming. Thanks so much for coming. And this is a pretty long VOD, so it might take a while to process. And don't get fooled by the 360p, guys. It's pretty late in Korea, so I just kind of process it and just go to bed. And I just want you guys to watch this as quickly, get access to this video as quickly as possible. So I just disregard just the standard SD, and then it also takes a little bit longer for the high definition to get processed. So if you're watching the VOD and the only option for you is 360 right now, don't think that I'm a jerk or being stupid. It's just getting processed. Or you can buy me a better computer and then have me hyper process these. Which
There
is
we go. Let's see those donations rolling. Let's go.
I got donations off now.
To be fair, you are gonna likely you can get affiliate off of the streams that you've had.
Yeah,
for the
probably.
last,
I would hope so. You could partner with these.
Well, anyway, I mean that's not the important part. So I had fun. I had fun with you two, chat. So like getting you happy with these content is literally what I'm aiming for. So if you guys are happy, I'm happy as well. But so I'm just gonna quit it because it is past midnight in Korea. So thank you so much, chat. Thank you so much, LaFon. Thank you so much, Paul, for the stream today. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If there's any changes to the schedule, I will post it on Twitter, maybe even Reddit if you guys are more comfortable with Reddit as well. I am not so kind of like a heavy Redditor, but I can change if necessary. Anyway,
Posted on- He's on it all the time.
all right. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.